Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. And thanks for joining us, the League of the Retro Spider-Menace Bastards. I am joined by my good friend, the Lord of Spiders himself, Critical.
Good evening. You all right?
Yep,
It's
and
so nice watching intros that have good films in them, isn't it? You're watching this intro, it's like, all these films are so much better than what we get now. Anyway, sorry.
miles, yeah, Vandad Menace, how are you doing, man?
Hello, I'm all right. I'm good. Hail chat.
Yes. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Ron Mickelson.
Thanks for having me.
You always welcome you a lot. And unfortunately, Inside Man is not here yet, but he's running late and he will be joining us soon. So, yeah, hopefully he won't be too late and miss the entire stream. But good luck. Yeah. Lost my train of thought.
He's outside man at the moment. He might be inside man.
Yes, the outside man at the moment, yes. But yeah, life fucking happens. It just gets in the way. You can't always help it. But tonight we are talking about the classic Orson Wells noir crime thriller, Touch of Evil. Now, I have only just recently watched this earlier, and damn, I really wish I'd have seen it sooner, because this is a fucking really good film. And it's really... There's a lot of intrigue. There's some great harsh shots as well, and you got a very towering performance from Orson Wells as this really disgusting Quinlan guy. It's really fucking powerful stuff to watch. And you've only just seen it recently as well, have you, Critical?
Yeah, I watched it for the first time Sunday. I considered it my homework, as it was a film I hadn't seen. I was just like, yep. I better watch it, and it's a classic. It's one of those films that I should have watched years and years and years ago, and I've just never got around to it. And it's rightly regarded as a classic. And I think one of the last film noirs, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was sort of like...
There was other or neo noirs anyway, something like that. After
the classic film noirs, from what I understand. But yeah, it's an amazing bit of directing and acting, as you say, by Orson Wells.
Oh, man, so yeah, that was the last one. And yeah, Fandad, I mean, have you I don't know if you'd only just seen this for the first time as well. I know I recommended it to you a while ago, but was this like your recent viewing of this, or have you seen it 1,000 times before?
I haven't seen this one. I've seen a good few noir movies in the past. Watched a lot when I did a film studies course about 20 years ago. But yeah, it was the first time this week, and yeah, I think you remember when we watched Falling Down, and I said you're all gonna hate me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because it is a pretty fucking downbeat film, but
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
I'm gonna have to watch it a few more times. I don't know why, but I just hated every minute of this film for some reason. I've got lots of reasons actually, but I've just literally watched it again today, skipped through it today, and it's kind of grown on me. So I'm starting to appreciate what's actually in there. I don't know whether I was just in some kind of bad mood when I watched it for the first time. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Probably just didn't get what the movie was trying to say, but I've got a few things that I can throw out there, so I'm not just hating on it just for the sake of sort of doing that. So it's down to you guys tonight to convince me again, a bit like we did with Falling Down.
Yeah, I don't know if you had a lot of stuff going on when it was happening, but it's not, if that was the case, then yeah, it can affect how you watch something. I mean, yeah,
it's a nasty, gritty film, isn't it? It's dark.
It's a very dark film. It's noir, isn't it? It's so well acted, and Charlton Heston is so fucking good in it. I know he's kind of brown facing it up a bit, but he does play it so well.
He's the darkest Mexican in Mexico. Where's he from?
He's got
So
he's got the boot polish on for sure, hasn't he?
Apparently, I think Orson Wells was happy as well about having Charlton Heston cast, and he actually wanted someone that was like Mexican or Spanish, maybe. But because Charlton Heston was like the big star of the time, you
need the name on those posters, don't you? That's the thing. You need the name to bring people in. So
yeah, and there was a lot of studio interference. I mean, they fucking wrecked this film when it first came.
There's apparently it's like. I mean, I don't even know what cut I watched because the version I watched said that it had been put back together and was
that's the Orson Wells version.
Closest to his version. So it's like Blade Runner. There's probably loads of cuts out there, and I don't know what the difference between them is. I have to be honest.
Yeah, there was a good little review from Siskel and Ebert who, because the film got recut and re-released back into how Orson Wells envisioned it, and it happened in the Nazis, by the way. It's
right, okay.
Siskel and Ebert managed to review it, and they were talking about how a lot of scenes that were put back in added a lot more context to the scenes. Everything started to make more sense again. So yeah,
I'd be morbidly curious to check out the original cut sometime, just see how bad it is.
Oh yeah, it's like Once Upon a Time in America. I want to check out that 2-hour cut, see if it really is as bad as it was when it first came out. Because since then, you've had the 4-hour cut, which was was the best version, and it is really well done.
Well, there's a lot of films that happens to. I mean, don't forget you got David Fincher's Dune, which he hated so much that he refused to release a director's cut of it, just like some of his other films. We were talking about Alien 3. Lord Toxic's never seen it, the assembly cut. And I said, dude, watch it. It's like makes a big change to the film. And Dune's another one where the best cut of that film is actually a fan cut called the Spicer Redux cut, and it takes a lot of the work print footage that was never seen. So it's like not really been properly finished off with special effects and stuff, and puts it back into the movie. Very good, very very good.
God, it's fucking crazy how these people in their homes on PCs are fucking doing a better job than these all the paid fucking Hollywood lot. All the unless they're underpaid anyway, unless they're underpaid like dogs.
He was on the season finale of Mandalorian 2, and then some bloke turned around with Deepface and made a better Luke Skywalker at home. They've just spent millions. Stupid. But studios wreck movies. As bad as Borderlands was, it's been made 10 times worse by the studio wrecking, playing with it. You can tell when you watch the movie that there are.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot. Like it's like they've taken away all the fucking gore. Like that made the games.
It was originally meant to be R-rated, and they made it a PG-13.
I've never played the game.
Game's fun. I wouldn't say it's the deepest story in the world.
Either. I should fucking give it a go. I've still got an Xbox 360, so
second one's amazing. The second game is actually amazing.
I know.
The third one, don't bother. It's bad.
You all right, fan dad? Your signal's playing up a bit.
Is it?
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. Roboting.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll try reconnecting.
Yeah,
give
just
me
like
2 minutes.
Jump in and out if you can. Just jump in and out. Sometimes it helps it. It's we're gonna jump right into. Yeah, but we're gonna try and jump right into Touch of Evil right now, and this is
it's got an amazing opening shot. Let's be honest, absolutely incredible opening shot.
Yeah, no, I mean it just starts with a fucking guy winding up a bomb, and it's
the camera doesn't stop. The camera tracks it. The camera tracks the same scene all the way up. It's amazing, very impressive.
So this was all re-edited as well.
So this is the version that I saw.
That I wanted. Yeah, this is the thing. Like when you got someone like who's a fucking titan like Orson Welles, you listen to him. I know he's an egotistical arsehole, but fucking hell, he knew what he was doing, mate. This guy knew what he was doing.
But again, like sometimes you need to be that arsehole. You need that overwhelming personality to be a true great. I look at it like rock stars. Rock stars are arseholes, but they're great. They know what they're doing. James Cameron is an arsehole, but he makes amazing films. So sometimes you just need that overbearing personality.
Because he has this vision. No one else understands it apart from him, the creator.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sounding better. It's sounding a lot better.
I think me Wi-Fi was on a different like router or whatever, so I've swapped it over.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't fuck up.
Fingers crossed.
God, signals are terrible when they need to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, first shot winding up the fucking bomb, and it's like Jesus Christ already, and already you can see the cameras following him while he sneaks around. It's like the camera's sneaking along with him.
I must admit there was some great camera work at the beginning of this film, tracking shots and whatnot. Yeah,
I know, real good tracking shot. This is fucking brilliant as well. And you don't see the guy, you don't know who it is that's planting this bomb. And then you see, then all of a sudden you're seeing this guy. He's older. He's got this really hot young woman with him. So obviously he's a very important guy. And she's like some fucking floozy or something he's shagging. And you never see what they are. There's barely any focus on it. You see the car more than they are. And it's like it's trying to make them look insignificant until that moment comes where they do become significant.
It builds a good bit of tension. This start.
It does. Actually, I know, because you know that bomb's going to go off.
It's only put like 4 minutes on the timer or something, and you count it down.
Presumably, this was all shot in a studio. This isn't on location. This is a bit on the backlot of a studio, isn't it? For sure.
Oh no, it looks like it's on location, all right. And this does kind of hack back to where what I don't know if it's Hitchcock that said this about. If you're gonna have the bomb under the table, show it straight away. That way, you're gonna have people on the edge thinking, "Come on, there's a bomb under there. Please, someone find this fucking bomb and stop it, please." It's and you're just waiting. You're just waiting for the thing to go off, aren't you? Just waiting for it all to kick off right now because, it's there. It's lurching around, and something bad is going to happen, and you know it's coming.
There's Charlton Hernandez.
Yeah, Charlton Hernandez. And Janet Leigh as well. Jamie Lee Curtis's mum, and who was a right stunner back in the fucking day. She really was.
Good Lord.
I know.
Yeah, she worked hard to look at.
Oh no, she wasn't, man. She was a fucking stunning. Her mum definitely got her look. Yeah, I mean, her daughter definitely got her looks.
Yeah, for a little while.
Yeah. I think she still looks pretty good now.
She's not bad, I suppose.
Yeah.
Put a bag over her head, couldn't you?
I've seen worse.
Borderlands did her tits a big favour. Their supporting role to the fucking bra that she rolled. To give you that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what's she doing in Borderlands? Oh, come on, she's so fucking old for that. I mean,
she's like 65 or something.
Yeah, play the fucking mum of one of the characters for fuck's sake, or the grandma, whatever. Come on,
I'm doing a video where I do my own casting for Borderlands.
Yeah,
I've got some.
I've Jamie Lee Curtis just play a fucking sexy grandma, and that'll be the end of it.
You get to redo the dance scene from True Lies. I'd rather not.
Oh dear.
We're already getting a little bit of introduction from Charlton Heston and Jamie Lee and us, the Vargases, anyway, and. Now we finally get a little bit of focus on the couple in the car, and she's complaining about a ticking noise, and it's in her head. And it's like, no, it's not in your fucking head, love. It's not in your fucking head.
You're like, listen to her. Listen to the woman for a change. Believe a woman. Oh, God, no, it's all going to go horribly wrong.
Yeah, and it's like, and now you know about them. They're a recently married couple. I think they're supposed to have their honeymoon as well, and but I think they were supposed to have their honeymoon, but he's had that fucking case going on in Mexico, which we found out later, and then the fucking bomb goes off over the American border, and shit, man, it's like everyone's frantic, and use of the camera as well, just shaking and chasing the people. It gives it a really good gritty feel as well. You feel as rushed and frantic as everyone else is.
This is kind of like the tracking shot, isn't it? Where everyone's running towards the carnage. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, and it's not steady as well. It shakes a little bit. It's and I think we've seen a lot of films these days where take that kind of example as well when it comes to intense shit happening and people are just getting frantic and excited of what's happening.
You've got like the old school vintage fire engines going past, and
Oh yeah. I just love the look of those old fire engines. Fucking, it definitely feels like a little time capsule as well when you see all these old vehicles. And yeah, we get a bit of exposition about you do back in Mexico to sort that what's the name of the
Grundy, you wanna?
Grundy, yeah.
One of the
Grundy, that's it.
Grundys.
Grundy,
Yeah.
that's him. Grundy. But now it's looking like he's going to get involved in this case as well. His time to spend with his wife is not going to happen, and it gets even more apparent as well when this fucking little hoodlum comes up, fucking fucking Mexican John Travolta from Greece.
He's
Right, greaser, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's telling him, "Hey, my uncle wants to see you," and and she's like, "Well, my husband's gonna give you a good punch, and I was like, "Yeah, that's what we need. We want your husband. That's what it's all about."
gonna knock
And
your teeth out, young'un.
Yeah. And then this is where we come the DA, and it's old Hank, who must be the only one who didn't hear the explosion. We've got the girl identifying the body, everything, and she cannot identify the woman because she knows it's not
A little bit of character
it's one of his
exposition there,
girlfriends as well. Yeah.
She says, "What was it? I'm not familiar with my father's girlfriends, plural." So who was he? And he was obviously some sleazy guy who liked young women.
Apparently, he was like this big official, wasn't he? And
with a string of
he
ladies.
had the town in his pocket. Now you can string him through a sieve. God, that is a fucking good line. That's such a good line as well.
Yeah. There's a line towards the end of the film, without spoiling it, where somebody says an old lady picked up a shoe off the street the other night and it had a foot in it. Can you remember it? It was horrible. Can't remember who said it.
A bit of fucking morbid humor. You can't really, you can't knock it. You really can't. And this is where the police officer sent to investigate comes in, and this is Quinlan, played by fucking Orson Wells, who was just gone right over his way to look like the most grotesque arsehole you could ever see. And man, does he sell it as well. I mean, God, this guy looks like he hasn't slept in days, or bathed in days, or changed his clothes in fucking days and all. It's and he really does come across like a cop who's just been working his job way too fucking long.
He's got the gumshoe look, hasn't he?
Yeah, the really fucking skinned. Yeah,
sat up in an office drinking. Like, he obviously says he doesn't drink, but drinking, smoking, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that kind of confused me as well, because earlier when he meets that what's her name, Madam? Oh, fucking hell.
Two Sword.
That's her. Yeah, I'm getting real bad with the fucking names.
Is it Marlene Dietrich?
She's but yeah, she says that you need to lay off the candy bars, and he's like,
it's Marlene Dietrich.
It was Marlene Dietrich, yeah.
Yeah, aye. Need to lay off the candy bars, fatty.
That's weird, because she's kind of got a thing for him, but
she did, yeah.
It's just kind of weird, isn't it, their relationship a little bit?
Yeah, and it's like one of the few moments where you really see him human as well. Like he hints that there was a good guy in there somewhere, but we will get to that soon.
He's jaded. He's jaded.
Yeah, and this is where Janet Leigh's character, Susan, is introduced to Grandy's fucking brother Joe, who's definitely not the big fucking gangster who's trying to play himself up to be. He's
not. He's a dimwit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to intimidate her, but he's a bumbling fat fool who's really not self-aware of what an idiot he is. But obviously, he's hoping he can have some influence over her and maybe get her husband to lay off his brother. But she's not falling for it as well, is she? I mean, she's scared, but she sees him for who he is straight away.
She takes the piss, doesn't she? She calls him she calls him a pig, which I found hilarious. And then she calls him a jug-eared little whatever she said.
Yeah, little Caesar as well.
Yeah, that's it. Aye, brilliant. Huh. But you can tell she's scared in that moment. But She just
but she plays it cool, doesn't she?
Putting a brave face in it, isn't she?
Yeah.
You know, it's not Strang Woman or anything like that.
No, she just grabs her balls and gives them what for.
Yeah. Plus, she does. You can sort of tell that there is a part of her that's probably thinking, you know what? I know I'm thinking of this guy as a joke, but there probably is a risk that he could be more dangerous than I think. But obviously, he once again, he's fucking tells her, lay off my brother, and he doesn't even really get forceful or violent with her. He's obviously intimidating her, but he doesn't go too far with it, does he? He's because
she's no shrinking violet. She's quite sort of sarky and she's got a mouth on her big time, you know.
She's sassy.
Yeah, sassy, that's the word. Sassy lady.
Yeah, and they're filling him on all the information that they've found at the moment, and he's saying put a tail on her, and we found out later that the daughter does have a little bit of a part in this, but because she turns up later, doesn't she, when he meets Sanchez, and we found out a little bit more backstory there.
Yeah, because the father's like a millionaire or whatever, isn't he? He's quite well off. They're thinking immediately sort of insurance money or inheritance or whatever.
And I like how he assumes, you know, she's a flow. She's probably some striptease. Let's go to the fucking stripper house. See if we can find any leads there. Yeah, I like how he calls fucking Vargas like a monkey, a DA in a monkey suit. But there's also an indication that this could be involved in the grant. That Grandy could be involved as well. So obviously Vargas has to get involved in it as well to find out if that's the case. But you got this.
Yeah, I mean, he's quite an important person. He's a person to be respected, like a Mexican to be respected, if you know what I mean. He's sort of high profile.
Yeah, because he does kind of like make snarky little jokes about him being Mexican. He's like, you don't sound like a Mexican, do you? And it's already you're getting little hints that Quinlan might be involved in it as well, because he's talking about dynamite, and there's been no proof of dynamite so far. It could be any explosion, could be a timer, blah blah blah. But I like how his little partner as well. I think it's Officer Gold as well, and he's like, oh, he's going to be right, because he always gets this little twinge in his leg whenever he's onto something. Intuition, he calls it.
With his game leg.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can go. So yeah, but yeah, obviously these two already there's a little bit of animosity, but they're playing it cool right now. You know, they're at the moment they're professionals, aren't they? They're going to work together, because who knows? And yeah, she's trying to get him intimidated as well, saying, my husband's looking for me right now, so you better be bloody careful.
Yeah, you silly little pig.
You ridiculous old-fashioned, jug-eared, lopsided
I swear he's wearing eyeliner and mascara.
Yeah, I think he is as well. Yeah. He definitely is. I don't know if he's a white actor as well in real life playing a Mexican.
No idea. But
is it just me? He's not. He's Russian. He's actually Russian.
Oh, he's Russian.
He came to America in about 1931 or something with an acting troupe, and liked it so much that he stayed, and just went on to act in a few films in the States. Yeah, he's a Russian guy. I don't think what his name is. I'll dig it up.
It'll be on IMDb.
Yeah. Somebody Tamarov, I think he's called.
Akim Tamarov.
Yeah, Akim. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Akim Tamarov.
Yeah, but he's very good at this, though. He really is.
I thought it was Ronnie Barker, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think Ronnie Barker would have fucking killed this role.
He'd have nailed it, wouldn't he?
He was.
And then we've got standing behind him, we've got the Mexican tribute band, Elvez.
Oh man!
Yeah, Elvis.
That's a fan dad joke.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at this actor now.
Gracias very much. Oh.
I'm trying to get this actor's name. Where is he?
Oh,
Valentin de Vargas. So yeah, he's definitely the real deal. He's not an actor putting on makeup or anything like that. He's the real fucking deal. Him. So yeah. Yeah, and he looks looks like he can fuck someone up as well. He's got that look to him as well. He's not just a fancy fucking leather jacket. Let's have a look. So so obviously it's all he fucking gives her his 2 cents, and she's obviously because if they did get a bit more forceful on her, she probably would be able to press charges, and they want him to get Vargas to lay off his brother without attracting any unwanted attention.
And then he tries to wangle his way out by saying, like, "Oh, you were always free to leave. We haven't put any hands on you."
Exactly.
Yeah, and I love how Quinlan just fucking goes straight into Mexico without any fucking warrants or anything like that, or any permission. He's just like, fuck this, but because
it's not really fussed, is he?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing as well. Because you've got this little incident that's happened over on the American border, but it's suspiciously being planted on the Mexican border. So it's so there's a lot of confusion here to what's happening here. So go to the fucking striptease, try and find out about this girl, see if they can find any leads on what's happening. Yeah, and this is where she tells him about fucking Grandy as well, and he makes that line as well. She don't look like no Mexican either, which is but obviously one other guy has different ideas. He fucking calls over to Vargas and tries to fucking acid at him, which is
acidize him, dummy. Christ, that escalated quickly.
Pretty nasty for 1958 as well.
Oh yeah, man, this film does not fuck about.
What was that? What is that poster? I'm wondering if that poster has any significance, because nothing in the frame.
I think it's a dancing.
Yeah. It's like some,
I wonder if that was the girl that was in the car.
Ooh.
She's been obliterated.
That would have been a nice little bit of nice little.
It might be, It might be. It's the only thing I could think of, because nothing in the frame unless it's supposed to be in there, kind of thing.
Yeah, he tries to chase him, but obviously the fucking guy gets the hell out. So it's like, it's a lost cause.
I would have caught him. I
know. Yeah, and I love this officer as well. Officer Golden, I think his name is. God, I forget the fucking names. I should have. But he's a very likable character as well. But you can see he's very naive as well. He's very smitten by his partner, because his partner did this really great thing for him years ago, and he's always kind of sided with him out of some blind loyalty. And he does become a very sympathetic character later on. And he's investigating all these bloody gorgeous strippers, and a lot of them don't seem to know anything what's happening. And he fucking leaves. But what this guy's like, it's a waste of time. I wouldn't say that. One of them tries to fucking pull one of the strippers. It's pretty fucking funny. But this is where we come to a nice little moment where he just stops, doesn't he? And he kind of forgets himself, and you can see this light. You can see his eyes just lighting up here when he realizes that.
Tanner, that's the girl. That's the girl on the poster, Tanner. So, gonna pay her a visit.
Yeah, this is where he goes to see it, and these guys already know what this history is between these two as well. And,
cook some chili.
So Marlene Dietrich as Tanya, she's really good. I mean, she's just really fucking. She's not super fucking glamorous, but there's still a sultriness to her as well. The way she just smokes that cigarette while she says those lines, the way her eyes look as well. She's got these big eyes that just look up at you.
Classy bird.
She's definitely got crystal balls. She's got that look about her.
She regularly gets her hands on balls.
Check out the chili pot there. That's something that I did notice. When I'm saying little details in movies make movies great. If you look at the bottom of the pot, it's got soot marks where the flames have licked up at it. So it's not just something that's been pulled out of the prop cupboard and said, "Oh, we need a pot for this scene. Go down to Morrison's and buy one." They've actually it looks like it's being used. So yeah, praise to the props department.
Props.
Oh yeah, because everything does look real dirty. The streets
Yeah,
are
it's
just
like
full of
lived in.
fucking garbage. Everything is.
Yeah.
I'll say
yeah,
the film looks very dirty, doesn't it? It's very
I
dirty.
know, yeah, it does not look clean at all. And Orson Welles really knew what he was fucking doing. He really does bring
Definitely.
a very bleak reality to it all. And it is a very touching scene as well. Look at the way he fucking looks at her as well. It's one of the few moments where it almost comes across a little bit endearing as well.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't recognise him as well, and she's like, "Jesus fucking Christ, you piled on the fucking pounds."
And it just lit off the Mars bars, young.
Yeah. I wish it was your chili I was getting fat on. God, man.
Even the way he talks is just like really slovenly and kind of.
Yeah,
It's not articulated or anything like that. It's all very, gumshoe and.
I know.
Kind
I
of
mean, I wonder if Orson Welles actually was fucking drunk when he did this. I mean, he did it when he did that wine fucking advert, didn't he? Some years back. Let me get it up.
He liked to drink, ironically.
Yeah, let me try and see if we can get it up. Fucking, it's such a funny fucking clip.
Was he leathered?
Like Ollie
Oh,
Reed.
yeah, he was fucking leathered. I will get it up. Give me a minute. Okay, Orson Welles. One.
Did he go full Ollie Reed?
Oh yeah, it's only on the outtakes though, but
Yeah.
But Christ, it's see if we can get it. Okay, I've got it up. Just let me share the screen. Let's get it on now. YouTube. Here we go. Boom.
I remember this, aye.
102, take one. With overlap, action please.
What?
Just
No, you got wine deafness.
All right. 102, take two. The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson. 102, take three. Action, please. The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
It's only the third take. It's not like he's got pissed on all the previous takes or anything. He's gone in there wankered.
I think he's fermented in the bottle, isn't he? Fucking hell.
Yeah, but he fucking pulled it off, though.
Yeah.
That did go through, and somehow he managed to do it.
He's got a bearing. Orson Welles had a bearing.
Yeah, he had presence as well. There was just something about the guy. You just couldn't help but love him.
I think he's lost his bearings there. Like,
yeah, he fortunately died of a heart attack. But fuck it, that's what happens when you fucking eat yourself to death. And
that very day.
You know what do you know what his very last performance was?
Transformers the movie, wasn't it?
Yep, Unicron.
Yep, but fucking on that. And you know what? I will admit I have not seen that. I have not seen it. I never saw it as a kid. I really regret not seeing it as a kid.
I was at the right age as a kid to see it, so I got completely destroyed by the death of Optimus Prime and all that kind of stuff. One of my heroes fucking killed in front of me on the screen. I was just like, no, that's not good.
Sorry, it was always Thundercats for me.
I love Thundercats. I love Thundercats.
Apart from Snarf, screw that little guy. Prick.
I am all snarf. And she still goes for the chili as well, because it's like something that she's been doing for a long, long time. And And that, now he finally gets to the bottom of it. He's still the police officer, isn't he? He sort of like forgets himself, but he remembers himself and asks about the bomb.
Shaking her down,
Yeah,
pumping her, as you might say.
yeah. But he goes back to his old self as well. He's like, when his case is over, I might come around and sample some of your chili. And she's like, better be careful. It may be too hot for you. And I'm like, oh, that's a woman. That's a fucking woman. Lines like that. Brings a lot of spice. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought I crashed out for a minute then.
No.
You're still with us. You're good.
I know. I just want a bit quiet. That's a bit quiet. God, I'm always worried my signal's going to cut out here because it's happened twice now. But yeah, and this is where he finds out about Vargas with the acid attack, and
he just seems to play it off, though, doesn't he? That was some of the annoying things about this film. Was I found that some of the dialogue to be quite clunky and unnecessary, and there were things that should have been paid more attention that were just sort of brushed off. A lot of the times it was to do with his wife. Like if it was my wife, I'd be going mental and trying to.
He's cool to a point, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like
he's very, very, very hard to fluster. And the most flustered he gets is when he finds out that what's his name, Pancho was set up. That's when he starts. So Sanchez.
Yeah, because I think he still assumes that his wife is safe. She's over the American border. No one's bothering her. She's in a little hotel for now. What's the worst that can happen? The real action is over here.
Ladies out of the way. She can't do any damage. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously it was one of the Grandy's kids, and you can sort of see here like Quinlan is trying to press Vargas a little bit as well because he finds out about Joe Grandi fucking trying to get Susan to tell Vargas to lay off his brother, but and he's trying to sort of like make it sound a bit more like it was more aggressive, and obviously so he can maybe pin something on him, doesn't he? Because he's a corrupt cop, he fits people up. So
he's trying to wind him up as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's telling him that like it was her fault. She picked him up, or she let him pick her up. With some of his words, I think. Trying to make out that his wife's a little bit sort of fast and loose.
There's definitely a suppressed animosity between the two of them, isn't there?
Oh yeah, because I think he's obviously a little bit prejudiced against Mexicans as well, but he sees but he probably hates lawyers even more because the amount because like you said, he's probably had a past where he's tried to catch criminals and the lawyers always fucking side with him, and they always got released even though they were fucking wrong uns. So he probably
innocent as it might have turned out because he
So he obviously has a disdain for fucking lawyers as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he is a very righteous man, though, Quinlan. He is trying to do his job, and he knows that the law isn't perfect, but he still has to do his job, even if it means that the guy that he's defending probably is a criminal. He has to, you can't do your job with any biasm. Once again, he is trying to sort of like try and look for an angle as well to arrest him, but he's too honest. They haven't exactly done anything totally aggressive, really, have they? All they've done is give him a little warning, but not harmed her in any way. Yeah, it fucking goes on for quite a bit this Sam, but yeah, like you said before, he's fucking winding him up as well, getting picked up on the street. Yeah,
it's a bit of saber rattling.
I know. And I love how he's sort of pressing him as well. Like, you don't seem fond of your job, and he's like, well, there's plenty of soldiers who don't like war, but we still do it. It's a dirty job enforcing the law. And yeah, he's right. It's like we're kind of
dig there as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
enforcing the law. That's what we're meant to be doing with a pointed glance at Quinlan. He already suspects that he's not on the level.
Yeah, exactly. These two have very different ways of enforcing the law. Quinlan's more honest, while Vargas is more honest, while Quinlan is willing to do whatever he feels is necessary.
Even if he just wants to get his quarters up, doesn't he? Yeah. Or he just wants to get the arrest or make it look.
I never really got that though. I never really got like he was trying to get the quarters up. I feel like he would happily fit up a criminal, but not for personal gain, but mostly because it gets them off the streets. But it opens up a can of worms as well. Though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's like he's going at it and just
Hey,
arresting anyone and everyone just to kind of get the job done, regardless of their innocence or guilt.
Yeah, and
Hello,
so
yeah.
I know. It's like I suspect them. That means they're already guilty, but it doesn't matter if I have the right evidence as long as I have some evidence. And yeah, that's wrong. Yeah, and obviously they're trying to put the frighteners on her as well. The fucking being peeping toms at her trying to get her.
It's a weird ass scene. I thought he was doing Morse code for a minute.
Yeah. Tell you what, though.
It's still Morse code for let's see your tits.
When she threw that light bulb, what a shot, though. That was a beauty.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and obviously they're not in the nicest fucking little hotel here, but it's something to do for now until they can get out. Yeah, and Joker on, and
that's
we
what
found
you get
out
when you book with Tui.
Yeah, and this little scene with Joe Garandi berating one of his fucking nephews as well for trying to throw an acid at him. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're just causing more harm than good. You fucking do anything to Vargas, he's guaranteed to put your bloody father in jail."
This is one of the little things that kind of niggled me a little bit, and I said I hated every minute of the movie. It kind of, for me, it was tonally all over the place. You had this like really serious outset where there's a bomb, there's a death, there's 2 people dead, there's a crime trying to be solved. So you're into this sort of noir movie thriller. And then it goes for this kind of slapstick sort of comedic, farcical scene with Grandy just almost being a joke. I couldn't really understand what they're trying to get at. Don't know if any of you want to try and explain or what you felt about this scene.
Yeah, I think I do get what you mean. I think if they did that, if he did downplay the buffoonery a tiny bit, I think it would have been more consistent. But
I think he could have been a great sort of villainous sort of side character, not the main sort of antagonist or protagonist. But
it happens again when they get what's her name, Susanna, or I can't remember what fucking name is, and trap her in the hotel.
Yeah,
with the guys in the lobby. Again, tonally it's very awkward, I think is the way I would describe it.
What the fuck was going on with Dennis Weaver? God almighty!
Oh, I couldn't work out if he was
fucking. I wanted to
brain damage. I just couldn't work it out. I was just like, is he a bit special or what the fuck?
I think he was trying to.
He's obviously like a bit of a fucking bumpkin, isn't he? Yeah. Country bumpkin.
Fucking hell.
It was not a good performance. That's
no. I think he was trying to be scared because he thought she was linked with the Grandies, but my God, he went over and above his duty.
It's when he shouts everything and just
yeah,
very odd, very odd.
I think because I think we are supposed to get the idea that he's trying to be like his brother, who is more competent with this kind of thing, but he's way in over his head as well. And we found that out later when he tries to make a deal with Quinlan and helping him.
Mm.
But he is. But yeah, he's got that fucking wig coming off as well, isn't he? It's like
keep your wig on.
I think it was to add some levity as well because it's a really fucking dark film. It's very it's very moody.
It's a film noir. Can we call this black comedy?
Black film.
Yeah, and obviously as it's trying to get her out of the hotel now, it's going to take her over to the border to keep her safe, But yeah, I think he does play it a little bit over comical, a little bit. It's like it is one of the few flaws, but I still like his character a little bit.
I think it has a good contrast for the scenes that come later when things get very, very serious. So I think that kind of works in that way. But I do see Fandad's point. It's almost like a caricature, isn't it? It's not rounded necessarily. As I say, I felt the same with the hotel scenes. So it was a little bit like, it's a bit weird, a little bit carry-on-ish.
I think Janet Leigh nailed her performance. Like,
oh, she's great.
Oh yeah, she's good. She's got some fucking sass to her. She's sexy, and she's not a girl boss because there was no such thing as girl bosses back
Nope.
then. It was just women being
But
fucking.
to be honest, for this time, she may well have been considered one because, as I say, she's no shrinking violet. You know, I've not watched a lot of films from 1957, 1958, oddly enough, and I don't know if this was typical, but the amount of sass she's got, seems to be. It seems to me that it might have been not.
She certainly holds her own under.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Oh
very
yeah.
much so.
And it doesn't feel unrealistic as well. It does feel like a real woman that has some strength to it.
That's because she plays it so well. She has the confidence and assuredness in her performance to make you believe that this woman wouldn't take any shit. Up until a point, anyway.
If they fucking took the time to watch these movies, then they would have realized just how stupid they are for thinking that. So and I was trying to get her out into America. Take her to the motel now, and have a bit of time with them as a couple. And this is where Joe Garandi goes to follow them, his stalk them. It's the fucking wig's just coming off as he fucking starts. It's funny.
Fucking Ronnie Barker.
Yeah, and it's all interrupted though because now Quinlan wants Vargas because he's found another lead as well, and it's something to do with this fucking place that's supposed to be using dynamite, and it's all stolen. And Elliot Gould tries to drive her to the hotel, and
this is another example that I was on about, like overacting and stuff. That the conversation he has with her over that cane, and then he just like absolutely like screams at her. I don't know if you can remember this particular part. She's like, who are you on about? Like, what cane? Who are you on about? And he screams like, Mr. Grundy! No, Quinlan! Just screams in her face for no apparent reason. The loony. What's his character called? I'm trying to find him on IMDb.
Yeah, I think it's Gold in there. Is it Gold? Let's have a look.
Is it?
Gold. Police Chief Gold. Yeah, so...
All right, Chief Gold. Harry Shannon.
Yeah, so we get a bit of exposition as well into his relationship.
Yeah, you get to find out why he respects and values Quinlan. A little bit of insight into their relationship and why he would turn a blind eye to what he turns a blind eye to.
Yeah, because he's got this loyalty. He saved his life, and he's always he just can't help but feel
he looks up to him.
A lot of admiration for this guy.
Did he say he was in a shootout with Vargas? Was he in the shootout on the side of Vargas, or was he actually fighting with Vargas? I'm sure that's what he said. And then Quinlan took a bullet for him. But I'm positive he said he was in a shootout with Vargas.
Let's go back a little bit, see if we can go into a gunfight. Oh, he got into a gunfight. This is Vargas.
Mrs. Vargas.
I thought I misheard what he said. I thought he said with.
That would have explained a lot of the animosity.
It would have done, wouldn't it? Okay, now that escalated quickly.
Yeah, apparently he had like a fucking alcohol problem as well, and he hasn't drank in years. But of course, that changes later on.
It does very much change. Yeah.
Wagon,
double bourbons all the way.
Fell off the wagon with a big thud.
Yeah, now fucking Joe's been caught as well. It's like he's trying to really deny it as well. Like, but he's just coming across more fucking suspicious as it goes on.
How do you?
I wasn't intimidating. I was just following it. There's no law against that. It's like, yeah, it is. It's fucking stalking, you dickhead.
And then he gets arrested and has like every amendment violated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking get in the car, you're under arrest. What for? I don't know.
Yeah, Quinlan will decide for you.
I'll work that out in a minute or something like that. I'll work that out later.
Sort something out. Fucking hell, he's going to end up on YouTube.
It works.
Hello, Adam Gray. How you doing, man? Fucking thanks for joining me as well. Thanks for joining me and the lads as well. It's
and me. Don't forget me.
Yeah, Inside Man should be joining us soon. He's running a little late, but hopefully he should be on before the stream ends. And
that'd be nice.
I know.
Give him a ring. Give
So
him
he
his...
turns around and goes, "Ding!
Yeah.
I met Orson Wells," and I'm just like, "Hey, prick."
And yeah,
Here he
fucking
is.
hell, it's
Here's Dennis.
Some nice directing here. Really, really good use of shadows and light and dark. I really like it. Very cool use of these circles as well. They're everywhere. I don't know if they're meant to be air conditioning or speakers or what, but
Speaker.
quite a few
I think
places.
they are, yeah, from the speakers. It's
one of those early Boss. Here he is.
Christ, it's kind of like you really do feel isolated out there as well. It's because it's just no desert on the outside. There's no other scenery, no beach or fucking park or anything. It's just sand, more sand. Yeah, and I know what you mean by is this Dennis Weaver?
Yeah,
it's
one of his first roles, I think.
You
Man,
can
he's
tell.
really,
Surprised not
It
anymore.
is.
Actually, it's like fucking hell.
It's a bizarre portrayal. It really is. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, so he's basically just this like country bumpkin, this sort of like very sort of cowardly guy, and yeah, because I think when I think of Dennis Weaver, I think of the film Duel. So
Duel.
yeah,
Duel.
yeah,
He's
like
very wide-eyed and just
yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah, he's a little bit over the top. It is a little bit.
maniac.
Over
I think he was the killer.
yeah, you think he would be and all. He's
None of us realised. That's the clever thing about this movie. He is the villain.
Yeah, this film almost feels like a very proto-Psycho, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You got Janet Leigh there.
Oh, you've got Janet Leigh in it,
Yeah. Blimey. Look at the state of that, man.
Look at that
Imagine that coming out of the dark. Christ.
I'm the hotel manager. Are you really, or did you kill him?
He's under the patio.
Yeah. But we also, this is where we found out as well that he knows Garandi as well, so there's definitely some connection to him there. And this is where we
Sid James. I forgot he was in it.
ha ha ha.
Yes, tits.
You dirty old man.
It's weird. I think, Al, you mentioned Carry On movies earlier. Some of the music in this, for some reason, reminds me of, I don't know if it's Carry On Behind or Carry On Campman. One of the Carry On movies has got very similar music to what's being played on here.
Okay.
And then Sid James turns up.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if this place is like on Quinlan's land as well, because you do find out later that Quinlan has actually got some dynamite of his own.
76, apparently.
Yeah, apparently this is where they found the lead where the dynamite was stolen, and it's by some kid named Sanchez who works there, and no, not works there anyway, but it's stolen anyway.
A kid named Sanchez. What?
Sanchez. Sorry. Sanchez the Sanchez.
So
So Sanchez did work there. Sanchez did work there.
He did,
yeah. So once again, we have got motive for how this could have happened or why this has happened, but then we found out later this might not be.
I think this is the problem. Like, Quinlan establishes what he thinks is a motive, and then makes the evidence to snare somebody based upon the fact that he thinks they've done it because of the motive. I don't think he just picks random people. I think once he's got that the guilt in his mind, then he plants the evidence to prove it, kind of thing.
Yeah. So even if you suspect someone, you have to have actual fucking concrete proof, and he's like, well, if I can't find the proof, I'll get some proof. Yeah, because there's probably a lot of evidence for unsolved cases, so fucking plant that. I fill my quarters up.
Yeah, well, they say later, don't they? There's loads of cases. There's like a whole book of them or something where I'm not so sure that he's trying to establish a quota or anything like that. He doesn't come across as that kind of a dude.
Because like
believes he's doing justice.
He lost his wife to a killer, didn't he? And the law and he never caught the killer because the law worked against him when he felt like the law betrayed him, didn't it? So
so I just feel like it's his own perverse sense of justice that he thinks he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, it does add a tragedy to him as well. But beneath all the nicotine stains and shit, there is a fucking guy in there who used to be human and he's lost that
There's
humanity.
a bit of tragedy behind his character, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I know, but unlike modern day films, they don't justify what he's doing. They just give us context into why he is the way he is.
Yeah, I mean, modern day films would have a great big sort of monologue or exposition piece saying, "Oh, he used to be a good man, and then one day this happened, and now he's just not being the same." It's just like, bored.
Yeah, hello, Smilex. We'll have to get you on. We have to get you on one of these streams again. Same thing for you. Same thing for Atom Gray.
It's gone 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we've gone through the film pretty quickly, haven't we? We usually take our time a little bit more.
Should we rewind it a bit?
What, to give Inside Man a chance?
Yeah. We'll just restart when he turns up, man.
Yeah, so this is where they go to Sanchez as well, and to try and press him on the matter, and yeah, he gets it fucking bad as well. I mean, he gets it from all fucking angles because there's, the daughter of the big shot who got blown up, and there's his lawyer as well, and
again, good work. The lighting and the shadows. I love it. I mean, very distinctive.
This film could not be made in color. Fucking no.
Yeah,
this is why some films should be
not as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually thought when I first watched it, I thought the lighting was a bit harsh and a bit sort of.
It's intentional,
amateurish, but just on reflection, when you do look at some of the scenes, it is pretty.
It's kind of a hallmark as well, isn't it? I
mean,
it's
kind of
later where he does the murder. You can really see it. That he's doing it on purpose. So it is cool.
I'll let him.
Imagine what Charlton Heston's skin looks like in colour.
I know it does kind of hide it a little bit better than it would be if it was in colour, wouldn't it? You still notice it, don't you? You still notice the eyeliner on his eyes as well.
Looks like he's got tandoori powder rubbed into his skin.
No, I don't like how Vargas just lets him do his work, even though he's not really he's not too fond of it as well. And he's got the motive as well. He was going to run off with the boss's daughter who didn't approve of you, so he thought, why not fucking murder him and get his money out of it while you can? It's and he has come to some kind of logical conclusions for a good motive here. He has got plenty of motive to kill this guy, but I mean, put him out.
He's fully justified in planting the evidence. Fully justified. He's just sort of like, look, as far as I'm concerned, if this guy gets away, it's an injustice. So I'll do whatever it needs to happen to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah. So,
and any Mexican spoken this, there's no subtitles. So I had no idea what was going on.
No, plus he's in there.
It's not Mexican, it's Spanish, but I don't know Spanish, so I was fucked.
You can still see the authority he has over his men and the respect he has over his men as well. It's like they won't look over the place without his permission. It's like they're very dedicated.
He's head honcho.
Yeah, he is, and he fucking owns the room when he walks into it, and so does Charlton Heston as well. So you got these two fucking titans owning the room. It's because you really I know Orson Wells probably wasn't happy about it, but fucking hell, you need a good actor to do it, and even if you did get a really good Mexican actor, I don't know if he would have played this role as well as Charlton Heston did.
I think without these actors, without Charlton Heston, Janet Leigh, and even Marlene Dietrich in the small role she's got, I don't think the film's anywhere near as good. Like not even close. I think they do a lot to give this film validity and to make it kind of the high end film that it is. They give it a touch of professionalism. I think the film quite needs, because as Fan Dadman correctly says, there's some bits of the film that are a little bit out there.
I know, and I like the fact that they are too over the top stereotypical. Even Joe's a little bit more reserved compared to probably what he would have seen back in those days. Like, I'm not me. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is so crazy.
Yeah.
We don't see that.
Lima.
Yeah.
Andole.
And this is where we come to where Sanchez is being interrogated while
Mm.
Vargas is washing his hands, and the box, it seems
Sees the
very
box.
significant. He just knocks it over. You see it's empty. It's it didn't fall down very quickly because it was so light, and it comes back later as well, and it's such a good little moment that really kicks this film off as well, and really thickens the plot.
Well, he's observant. He's a smart man. He's a respected man in his field, as it were. I kind of felt like it was maybe a tiny bit overplayed for the audience, but I can't judge too much because I just don't know what films and audiences were like back then. Maybe it needed to be that obvious. I don't know.
A little bit of a weird place to leave a shoebox.
Yeah, it's
on top of your towel.
Tiny little bit of convenience there, but it does.
Yeah.
It's essential to the plot, so you know.
Yeah.
You have to let it go, really.
No, and I think this is where I realised okay, this has got naught to do with the Garanda case. So yeah, I'm probably just going to be out of here. So he goes to try and talk to his wife and find out what's up. Yeah, before he does that, we still get. He's obviously going crazy as well. He's really pleading his innocence, and it's not working, and he's really fucking losing his temper with Quinlan and Vargas and all. Yeah, so he goes to call his wife, and yeah, this bit did get a little bit of a laugh out of me. It's yeah, he asked her a question. I forgot what it was, and she's like, "I'm blind, mister."
Have you got a phone book?
Yeah.
I'm blind, you idiot.
Yes.
That's what she should have said.
It's like, why wouldn't I expect you to be blind? Interesting.
Well, thank God it's the 50s. Otherwise, I'd be cancelled right now.
Yeah. There was no Twitter back then, thankfully.
Yeah, this. Yeah, no, they're trying to see if they can make a fucking example of Joe right here. Yeah, and even Quinlan's wondering what the fuck's going on here. It's like, oh yeah, he's been driving, he's been stalking Mrs. Vargas to the motel. It's like, yeah, but why did you bring him here?
In his car. Driving behind someone in a car is now a federal offence, apparently. Wonder how many people he arrests on the motorway.
Oh, I know.
Hey, what you doing behind me?
Yeah, there's a lot of misunderstanding with this as well. It's like he was following. It's like, why are you following a cop? He's an idiot. It's like
that was a
he thought I was Mrs. Vargas, and he's like, yeah, so I was following Mrs. Vargas. So what? And he's like, yeah, that's fucking stalking. That's stalking. Yeah, now we've got this fucking noise going on. Yeah. No, it's not the noise just yet. We
go back one slide.
Music, so
just go back one slide.
I'm wondering if this actress they got into.
Yeah, just leave that.
Yes, look at those fucking legs.
We'll leave it like that till Inside Man turns up. Yeah.
Should we just talk about the rest of the film and just?
She is.
Yeah, I'll skip back for Inside Man. Let him show what he's missed.
Looking woman.
I hope it's not too late. Fucking hell, I sent him the link. I've sent him the link.
It's 10:30.
Messages, see if he might have.
She's the killer.
He's having this great big conversation with his wife, this blind woman sitting next to him.
Now back from him. So he probably, once again, he's probably just got held up. He's got a lot of work, hasn't he? So. He's just letting his wife know about what's fucking happening, and that's about it.
If you are mean enough to steal from the blind, what does it say? You are welcome, or something.
So look.
Help yourself.
Help yourself.
Yeah, don't encourage crime, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
If you're going to steal from the blind, you're a cunt.
Yeah, the blind get a fucking shit-handed movies. I mean, Dumb and Dumber is definitely one as well.
It's weird because, there's loads of disability representation in this film. But it's all fucking mental.
Can you say things like that?
Now she's calling the office because she's getting disturbed, and oh yeah, it's been hijacked by fucking Grandes, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously she's in danger now as well, and she
And
does
some of
not
the
know.
dialogue here is, as Fandad says, it's really, really weird. I don't know if
Mad.
they're trying to make it like awkward that they're speaking English or something, but it's very, very stilted in places. Some of
Yeah,
what's said.
even the greatest fucking movies have their flaws. It really, they do. It's
Thing is, we can't really judge it because it's something that's been put together as a cut, so we don't, you know,
True.
it's
Yeah.
hard to judge it on that basis because you're seeing a different version of what had already been done. So
It was that 58-page letter that he sent to the studio, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Outlining how he wanted it to be re-edited or whatever, but they just ignored it. I think it wasn't. Was it like 1998 when they finally
it was
fixed it?
98, yes.
Yeah, and this was how
Set of
Orson Wells
arseholes.
envisioned this as well. So
It's like 10 years
Yeah.
after he
yeah,
died.
it
I
could be the
think.
dialogue of the time as well, you know, because you know, where people spoke was a bit more
Oh, yeah,
different.
definitely different, wasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, they do have the typical like love dialogue from the 50s, like, "Oh my darling, I love you so. Oh, you're so great."
I can't remember that bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and this bit as well. This is where he really starts to. This is where he finds out just what kind of a guy Quinlan really is. Yeah, because where is the bit now? Where is the bit? Oh yeah, he's found that fucking Joe Grande's been trying to follow his wife as well. It's it's not looking good for Joe as well. It's he's going fucking wrong.
Yeah. Well, he knows that if anybody touches Vargas, then his brother's going down. That's it. It's all over.
Critical drink. Hey, that'd be fucking cool if we could get him on here, man, one day. Hopefully one day he will. Yeah, come on. Yeah, don't bother on dark hours, drinker. Fucking come on here.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Need some Scottish
Seriously, Dark Hour,
representation.
if you're watching this Dark Hour, yeah, hope you enjoy it. Hope you're enjoying your time. Yeah, so they found the dynamite, and this is where he starts to realise, wait a minute, something's fucking up here. Something's wrong here. Come on.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
That ain't right.
What's he doing? He was lighting a fucking cigar around dynamite. That's not good. That's not safe. Oh, fuck, man. We don't know if this dynamite could be leaking, could be sweating. Who knows? It's there's some dynamite like nitroglycerin, which can be very, very fragile. I mean, one little sneeze or something, tremor can set it off. Yeah, and look at Gold. He's like really excited as well. He's like, "Hey, he did it again. He's such a good capper. God, I'm so in love with him. I'm totally not gay."
he was an absolute lunatic, that guy. Until sort of towards the end, his character kind of settled down and became quite well rounded, but he was a bit sort of off the chain, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
And then poor Sanchez just getting railroaded.
He is, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of prejudice as well. He's definitely got a little bit of prejudice against Mexicans.
Yeah.
This is where he confronts him on it as well, because it's like, I saw this box in the bathroom. It was empty. How is the dynamite in there? So he knows he knows Quilland is framing this poor kid, and he knows he's dirty. He's crooked. And yeah, now Quinlan looks like he's looks a little rattled as well. He's sweating. He looks a bit fucking. He looks like he's on edge a little bit, and this guy could give him trouble.
He's had too much chili. That's his problem.
Yeah, too much chili. Well, this is where Joe Grande gets some brainwave and starts thinking, you know what, we could both help each other out here. We could, you know, we've both got a problem. You know, I got the whole
dastardly plan is hatched.
Yeah. And obviously, he's not happy about affiliating himself with this guy as well. You can tell he fucking hates him. And look at Golden's face as well. He's a little bit, yeah. But it does bring a bit more context into why Golden does start to believe Vargas later that Quinlan really isn't the copper he thought it was.
Yeah, he's starting to become a bit skeptical, isn't he?
Yeah. Real man makes women and dynamite sweat. Yeah, they sure do, Nix. wearing brown face in an old movie, does that make it grey face?
As I say, I'd love to see what shade Charlton Heston actually was.
Yeah.
Like in burnt sienna or something, you know.
Was it?
Terracotta.
Feet of hot sleeky dynamite. Yeah, don't take showers, Janet.
Got a face like a plant pot.
God, I love this scenery as well. I really do. I love these good old fucking noirish shots.
There's some good matte paintings in this as well.
Oh yeah. I kind of miss matte paintings in movies. There's something about them. I know they're a little bit flat and but you can see a lot of
things that got let down by high definition and big screen TVs. They were fine on the old CRTV TVs back in the day when we didn't have a high definition. It didn't stand out like a sore thumb. Now you look at a matte painting, it's like, oh fucking hell, that's a matte painting. But back in the 70s and 80s, even when you saw them on the big screen, because it wasn't massively high definition, they got away with it, and they're incredibly talented artists.
Do you think the high definition does sort of like give away some of the special effects that we never realised?
God, yeah, especially with stunt doubles.
Yeah,
Star Trek: The Original Series is practically ruined every single time. It's not William Shatner. You can see it sticks out so much.
Yeah, especially in Sex with Spock, where he does a fucking backflip. It's
It's both a boon and a curse.
Yeah, I do love it. I just love all these fucking guys are just fucking with her as well. You know, they're just trying to just make her just as uncomfortable as possible.
Is it just me, or does that guy look like Mark Dacascos? Is he Chinexican?
I don't know. He looks like he's got something, but I think he is actually some Spanish maybe. He's definitely Latin. Well, let's get his name up again. What was
I think he's called Jackie Wan.
Jackie Wan.
Sorry, guys.
Valentin de Vargas is his name.
That's the guy.
Yeah. And his character name is apparently Pancho, even though
she calls him Poncho, doesn't she?
Yeah. Well, that's the name he's credited as, because we don't really find out his real name except for Pancho that she calls him as for laughs.
That might be his name, might be Pancho, because I'm sure she called him Poncho.
It's like a bunch of extras from Greece. 20 years before Greece.
Yeah, isn't it?
I know. Plus, we also kind of found out as well that because earlier he was mentioning that the guy who's supposed to be taking over the next shift isn't showing up, but a new guy's coming, and these are the new guys. So he's definitely he's definitely not the toughest guy to fucking take them on, and he's obviously going to let them get away with what they're doing. Yeah, it's definitely a fucking doormat for them to walk over.
You missed Dennis Pennis there in the middle.
Dennis Pennis.
There he is.
Hello.
It's Paul Kerr's early work.
There he is. Yeah.
That looks like David Tennant, to be honest.
Oh, Dennis Pennis, mate. That guy did not give a fuck. He was the amount of fucking celebs he just right to their faces as well. The amount of celebs he just pissed off. He did not care.
Cancelled in 2 seconds flat these days, sadly. Imagine something like Brass Eye. You wouldn't get that these days.
Oh, God, no.
Chris Morris was an absolute fucking genius.
When he gets, I'm going to get demonetized here, but when he's doing the one about the pedos and he brings the pedo out and says, "Are you attracted to my son?" And the pedo's like, no. He's like, "Why not? What's wrong with him?"
Yeah, disguise. One of them's disguised as a fucking school to slow children. It's like, what the hell, man?
I think the only one I remember was Noel Edmonds with a fucking rocket launcher threatening to kill whoever was outside his house.
What's his name? Is it Chris Morris?
Chris Morris, yeah. He did Jam as well, which is
Renham Denham.
Yeah. And he was in IT
Denham
first season,
whatever it's called.
Yeah, and this
one
is
one of the best self-deletion scenes ever.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? They want to speak to you about some irregularities in the pension fund. I see. Could you
see
he fucking jumps out the window.
Just jumps out the window.
I use it in my reviews. I use it in my reviews every time I play a scene from a film that really fucking pissed me off. I play that scene because it's so fucking good not
Good
to
lad.
use.
I used
It's so
a
good
bit of the
not to
IT crowd when I was talking about Kevin Hart in the Borderlands film, and I got that bit where fuck, what's his name? Roy has a go at the barista for being too short. You're too small. You're just too small.
Man. Yeah. Fucking hell. Sorry to hear that fucking happened, Gray, and and the people at B-roll who are getting shit off YouTube. I really am sorry
What
to hear
happened?
that, but fucking hell, I hope you get more
I had one
success
of the
on Rumble.
videos
after
queued up to
hearing
watch
you-
later. What happened?
Oh yeah, every fucking time their channel keeps getting hit with copyrights all the time,
pricks.
and they got the channel. I think they'd still get the. Did you get your channel taken off? I can't remember if you did or
Surely
not. But,
most of that stuff is
Fucking hell.
public domain now, isn't it? It's got to be like a lot
yeah,
of those
no,
films
even
are
with
like
public
50
domain and stuff, they still get copyright shit. So yeah, it looks like they're back on YouTube now, but still do Rumble as well, just in case.
What was it from? From a live stream or just from a normal video?
Oh, fucking! It seems to be constant. I have no idea. I might have to ask them.
It is an absolute minefield. When I did the Skeleton Crew trailer, I was careful to like pause it every 5-10 minutes because I was just like, so 5-10 seconds because I was just like, otherwise, I just don't want to give them a chance. Even though I'm a very small channel, I'm not likely. It's not going to have any impact anyway. I can't be arsed with it. It's just too much hassle.
Do you all know the 7-second rule?
7 seconds, is it? Okay.
Yeah, if it's under 7 seconds, 9 times out of 10, you should be pretty okay.
Sounds like my love.
I've only had, I think I've only had 2 or 3 sort of. They weren't copyright strikes, but they were like copyright notifications. And
right, yeah.
And then I just wrote a nice letter in the sort of what's it called when you protest or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should be bloody public domain. If it's public domain, there's no fucking copyright, so you shouldn't be getting hit.
Yeah, that especially YouTube. But it's like if you're using trailers and stuff like that, especially from I think is it Warner Brothers and Disney are probably the
again
worst.
trailers should be fair use. For
that's what I normally put in me little sort of
criticism and something else. I can't remember what it is. There is a line. I need to nick it. I actually
there is one somewhere. Yeah,
I took the screenshot off Northern English Bastard, and I can't.
Here he is.
Who is it? Who could it
be?
Bad man. Oh, glad you made it. Fucking
somebody with a steel chair. It's
wow. Wow.
It's inside man. He's been outside man for the last hour and a half. Here he is. Are you all right, son? You all right, son?
Oh, yeah, not bad, mate. No, how's everything going with everybody else?
It's mint.
Yeah, we're just like halfway through the movie now. We're just at the part where Garandi is trying to make a deal with
Janet Leigh left in a night dress for you, mate. It's all good.
I explained at the beginning that I fucking hate this movie. And it's been, I've been waiting for you to put me right on a few things, but all good.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the delay.
It's all right. I mean, fucking shit happens. It happens. It's can't help it.
Mate, talk about catalogue of woes and nightmares, all having that perfect storm of coming together. It's just.
Oh, did you see Alien Romulus as well then?
Pardon?
Did you see Alien Romulus as well then?
No, not yet. Not yet. Anyway, so how are we enjoying the film so far?
Yeah, we just got to the part where Joe Garandi is trying to make a deal with Quinlan about trying to knock off fucking Vargas, set him up, because he's a hassle for them both now. And Vargas is already onto Quinlan about his
setting up Sanchez.
Stashing the blood, stashing Sanchez's dynamite. So he's been framing him.
We've commented on the slightly strange characters that are.
Dennis Weaver's a loony.
Yeah, I did not know that was Dennis Weaver as well. It's like he's so young here as well, and you see him in Duel. He's like a sort of like rugged, older guy with a mustache, everything. He's like
cowboy.
Yeah,
he's actually scarier than the Grandy gun.
Yeah, he is. He comes off a
Yeah.
little bit off, doesn't he? But he's just
Yes,
kind of this
yeah.
country bumpkin, isn't he?
It's weird. I don't know if he's meant to be like a war veteran and he's brain damaged. I can't work. I don't know what the fuck is going on with him. I really don't.
Never really saw him as a war veteran, though, because he seems a bit too passive, doesn't he? And
I don't
he
know.
does-
He's like shouty and scary. I don't know if he's got. I don't know what's going on. I just don't know. It's one of those few times I wish there was a piece of exposition in the film that somebody just turn around and go, "Yeah, he took some shrapnel to the head, and now he's a bit weird," because you get nothing, and he's just odd.
Yeah. It's but it is. I mean, what a beginning, though.
Oh, the
What
tracking
an
shot's incredible. Isn't
extraordinary.
it?
Yeah.
and it hooks you right in. Just the first shot is the guy winding up the timer on the dynamite, and
Yeah.
and then
And
you
as I
bet
say, some of the work he's done with shadows and stuff like that, Orson Wells,
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
it's very much a hallmark of the genre. So this being one of the last film noirs,
Yeah.
I think that the few things that Van Dijk pointed out, I think they're absolutely valid. But I still very much enjoyed the film,
Yeah.
and I only saw it the first time on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Never seen it
Oh,
before. Never
right.
seen it before.
Same.
I
Yeah,
thought
a
it was
lot of
I
us have
thought it was
only
a horror
just really
film.
recently seen this movie, and I'll thank Ziggs Horseman for encouraging me to actually try and get off my ass and give this movie a go, because I was meaning to watch it before, especially after
I
Get
saw
Shot.
I saw Touch of Evil, and I went to my missus and went, "Oh, I've got this horror film to download, Touch of Evil. We should check it out. Oh, it's what I'm watching on Friday." And then I was like, "This isn't a horror film. What the fuck's going on?" Quick visit to IMDb. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay, slightly different film."
Yeah.
October, I will be doing some horror films, though.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. And
And
there's plenty of really, really good ones.
Oh, is there
This-
ever?
Yeah. But this this was
Don't tell
another
me you
one of
met
those.
Orson Wells.
No, oh God, yeah, if only, if only. Do you know, it's funny, whenever I see Orson Welles either in a film or in an interview, I just kind of feel quite choked, really. I just think he was one of those grossly underappreciated people that was effectively shut out of Hollywood because of what he was. This largely sort of independent filmmaker
Mm.
who completely disagreed with how people were being treated in Hollywood, how writers, directors, and actors were being treated in Hollywood. Probably, I would say, probably the first, if I can use the word mainstream, but first well-known independent filmmaker that's certainly revered now.
He was a bit of a maverick, wasn't he?
He really was, but
even Citizen Kane was like a big bomb as well, and now it's like what years later it became this. It's on like every single 1,000 movies you must you must watch before you die. You can't book that. It's it's amazing.
And when he said, I think it was the cinematographer on Kane, on Citizen Kane, Greg Toland. He said, I don't know anything about making movies, and he said, great, that's exactly why I want to work with you, because you know nothing about making movies, and you don't know what you don't know is how to say no, we can't do that. He said, and that's why I really want to make a movie with you. And obviously, they come up with Kane, him and Mankiewicz, and came up with Kane, and he said, look, if you really want to know how to make a movie, he said, I can teach you how to direct a movie in 3 hours, and he did. And he said, everything you need to know could be told to you in 3 hours, provided you take it in. And obviously he was one of those people that just absorbed absolutely everything that was told to him by these people who he admired so much. And and of course Kane was the result. And obviously then Magnificent Ambersons, which again, there's 45 minutes missing of that's never ever going to see the light of day. Another movie that was taken away from him.
Fucking
and of
it's
course
kind of sad as well, because because a lot of these films were like highly flammable as well, and they could like turn to dust very quickly after a good while.
Because they were shot on. I mean, the early film was silver nitrate film.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say
silver
that,
nitrate, silver nitrate film. The early celluloid up until I think silver nitrate was really being used up until about the late 50s, early 60s. because there was an excess, there was a glut of film stock still available that was left. It wasn't new stock, but it gets kept, it gets stored, or used to be stored in pretty much freezing conditions. That's how you stored silver nitrate film. And of course, once it's processed, once it's gone through the chemical process of developing, I suppose would be the easiest way of explaining it. And you have the neg and then the print made, then it becomes very, very volatile. And it has to be treated very, very gingerly and stored very gingerly as well. And it had a tendency to, when it was rolled up, it would start to sweat, and of course, which made the film stick together in its roll. So it would be one kind of globular lump. But with
Just like
this,
glue, wasn't it?
yeah, and
Almost
with
glue.
this, with this film, unfortunately, the amount that was taken out, again, as he says, the studio basically closed the gates on him. The amount that was missing, yeah, it's a tragedy, really, because these were the days when all missing footage was literally just binned, so we'll never see any of that again, ever.
Damn it.
So much fucking good stuff is lost now because the film it's just been destroyed or whatever it says. I know.
Loads of films like that. That's why a lot of the films that are restored these days are done digitally rather than from the original negative, and it's some kind of algorithm that just bleaches all the character and the sort of almost the soul out of the film, and you end up with these very smooth digital looking products that they aren't the real film.
There's tons of like early horror films from like the 1910s and 20s that no one will ever see because they just don't exist anymore now. It's very sad as well.
Yeah, I mean there are still sort of Laurel and Hardy films that are missing.
There's still a load of bloody Doctor Who that's missing, isn't there?
Oh yeah, tons from the 60s, because I think wasn't there a fire or something that happened as well at the BBC?
Wiped out loads of it. I think it was the same for another big film franchise that got loads of it was wiped out in a fire. I can't remember what it was.
There was. I mean, certainly with the BBC, they had this policy, right? They, as with film back in these particular times, it was a disposable medium. It was you watch it once it's done the rounds and everything. Once it's finished with, nobody's going to want to watch it again. Everyone wants to move on. It was almost treated like an old newspaper. It's in essence old news. The BBC treated their television shows exactly the same, and they had a massive purge as late as the early to mid 80s. They had one of their final purges, where they were just clearing stuff off the shelves, and in their infinite wisdom, they decided that some of these tapes, some of these things, they weren't using anymore. They weren't using the format of tape or some of the stuff that was actually filmed. So they made a great big bonfire, and burnt a ton of stuff. They went over. I mean, there was some classic television. I'll tell you one classic TV show that they did, a comedy TV show that they wiped. It was a show called The Army Game. Now, The Army Game was actually directed by Jason Fleming's dad, who went on to do Doctor Who and the Daleks and Daleks Invasion of Earth. So he directed those, and those have gone. They disappeared. There were Hancock's Half Hour that disappeared. all of Spike Milligan's early Q series had disappeared. Doctor Who disappeared.
Shit.
It's just it's incredible. It's an absolute tragedy and a travesty. And the studios saw these films as nothing different. It was the same premise. They had the same kind of mindset, the same mentality, that this is a disposable medium. It's once people have seen it, they won't want to see it again. How wrong were they?
I know, because you had videos coming out after that, didn't you? Betamax, fucking hell, before it.
Yeah. But this is how narrow-minded studios are. They are never and never have been forward-thinking.
No,
ever.
And they don't value the products. That's the problem.
No. and it's only because
Yeah.
we value them as viewers. You know, this would have disappeared. This would have gone on the scrap
Yep.
heap. Gone with the Wind would have
'Cause
been
it
on the
usually
scrap
is
heap.
like a big lot of fans or viewers that come together and sign
Yeah,
petitions to
yeah,
release this cut, blah blah blah, all that
yeah,
kind of stuff. It's
yeah.
because it's
It's
the demand that gets it, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. It's
The
us.
studios care little for the creative process or the actual
Yeah,
the art of
yeah.
filmmaking.
Exactly,
There's-
exactly. And you couldn't get much more of an artist than Orson Welles.
mm.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, fucking yeah, because this film was really butchered when it came out, and
Terrible.
I know
Never,
now
never,
it's
never seen the original cut. I've only seen this version, so
I know I would love to see the
no idea.
original cut just to see see if it really was as bad and disjointed as it was made out to be. Because apparently everything that was put back in this movie added a lot more context to the scenes that
Yeah.
are coming up.
You're talking about the version that had the additional 15 minutes that was discovered in the early 70s. Are you talking about that version?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I'm still a bit
I genuinely
naive.
don't know how many copies cuts there are. Is it like Blade Runner? And there's about 5 of them now. Or...
Yeah, I mean the original cut of this went to 2 screeners. They had 2 screeners for it, and both screenings were largely positive. But of course, again, when you have a studio that really is looking to take something out, they need. It doesn't matter how small the reason and how small the amount of people, how fewer people there were that said, you know, they found it a little bit coherent, or they found it a little bit too dark, and they found it a little bit too downbeat. And that was one of the reasons why, if not the reason why, this movie was really pushed as nothing more than, you know, a B feature. I mean, how on earth, you know, the writer, director, producer of Citizen Kane, I can't remember the name of the cinematographer on this. Is it something Maddie, something like that, something Maddie? Uh, um, you know, Charlton Heston. You know, look at the beauty of this film, and a studio were that prepared just to dismiss it as nothing. You know, oh, you know, this genre's
Russell
over. This
Metty.
has been done. That's it, Metty. Yeah,
Russell May.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just it's crazy. I detest studio executives. Full stop. Bar none. There are no good studio executives. There's never been a good studio executive. Maybe apart from Alan Ladd Jr., I think was probably the last great studio executive.
Was he the guy that got Star Wars pushed through?
I was going to say I recognise that name from Star
Yeah,
Wars.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
everyone else was going against George Lucas, wasn't they? And
yeah,
the entire studio was shut the fuck up as soon as he started saying, you know, no, Star Wars is going through.
yeah.
It's I think it's going to be fucking big.
Because
And of
nobody
course,
believed in that film apart from him and George Lucas, pretty much.
that's right. Yeah, I mean, even people like Scorsese and Coppola and De Palma were absolutely scathing of Star Wars.
Yep.
You know, and I do. Sorry to sidetrack slightly, but the that that great conversation that Brian De Palma had with George Lucas about the opening role. You know, when you know, he said, look, you know, I can't. George Lucas said, you know, I can't really write that well, and he read the script and he said, yeah, you're right, George, you can't write.
No.
And De Palma wrote the opening role, the
Yeah.
opening scroll. You know, those I think it's only like 4 paragraphs, isn't it, or more or less just 4 sentences, if you like.
Yes, it's 4 long sentences.
Yeah, yeah. But it's amazing how wrong can, you know, people like that. But then, in hindsight, you know, we can all look back and, you know, we can't say with confidence that we knew immediately that something was going to be a major hit. I mean, it took. I mean, an example. It took me well into 3 episodes of shooting Band of Brothers for me to actually realise, wow, this is actually going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I mean, you know, you've always got your teething problems with
Yeah.
any show. There's very few
Yeah.
shows that just knock it out of the park straight away.
Yeah, yeah.
because you're setting up the character dynamics. You know,
Mm.
you're working on production problems.
Mm.
You're hopefully getting better every single time you do
Yeah.
another episode of it. So you
Yeah.
know, it's only natural that they're going to get better over time, and
Yeah.
generally they only fall apart over time from outside influences.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is this is a great example of somebody who really cut his teeth on a masterpiece.
Mm.
And Magnificent Ambersons also could have been a masterpiece, and by all accounts, it almost certainly would have been and was a masterpiece until it was just pretty much shredded.
Yeah.
But this, I think, is
Do you think the studios hated him because of what he did?
Yeah, it's precisely
yeah.
that. I mean,
I
it
think,
was
I agree.
despised.
Well, fucking hell. Yeah,
Yeah.
they seem to hate anyone who has a fucking mind of their own, and you got to give credit to Orson Wells as well. There doesn't seem to be no ego here, because he goes out of his way to make himself look gross as possible. I mean, look at the clothes. He looks like he hasn't fucking washed in days. He's
Yeah.
not slept in days.
I think he slept in his clothes, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like
I
the
mean,
fact that
he's
I like the fact
grotesque.
that, sorry.
Sorry, I was just saying he actually, he is grotesque. He made himself really grotesque in this film.
Yeah, he's become rotten, hasn't he? Like because you see hints that he was a good guy, but this life has just fucking ruined him. It really has.
Yeah.
And even worse now, in this scene, he's going to be making deals with a fucking criminal, someone he detests as well, because someone's on his ass, and they've rumbled him. They know that that he's done if he doesn't work with his arsehole.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Butlins. Look.
Oh yeah.
Looks too good for Butlins.
Yeah, this scene as well as just shows just how fucking good Charlton Heston is, as well as
me,
this
that guy's short. Or is he a long way away?
Yeah.
He's next door, I think.
Yeah, obviously he's calling them all in here now because because Quinlan's framed this fucking kid. He knows it. He saw the box was empty. And they're not very happy about it as well. Why are you saying this about Quinlan? All right, he saved my life a long time ago. He's a good cop, and you're trying to fucking ruin him. It's not, yeah. But yeah, he's showing them all the records as well about that the dynamite might be his as well, and they're just sort of sweeping it away like it's a big coincidence.
He's thorough, Vargas, isn't he? He really does his own work. He's very good at what he does. He's not just a guy.
Yeah, 17 sticks for dynamite. It's like, yeah, that means nothing. What's that got to do with the Sanchez? Anyway, it's all a coincidence.
What's dynamite got to do with this case?
Yeah, so we found out that it does belong to Quinlan, and I think he did have some property that the dynamite was used for, but yeah, but obviously,
I like the way how Nick asks a question for the panel, but there's like one person that can actually answer it. It's what you said. I've got a question for Inside Man.
Yeah,
yeah.
How would the wardrobe department work with prop department in a movie like this, and how much did it evolve into what we have now?
Well, what we've actually got in wardrobe in terms of the type of wardrobe that we have in this at this time, it hasn't evolved much. It's wardrobe is one of those departments that, for the most part, they would hire costumes the same way we still do now. I mean, we have Angels and Bermans, or as it just is now, Angels. There's another place called Cosprop. So you have specific hire companies that you sort of outsource. Although in the earlier days, I think it was just before the studio system started to collapse. The studio system as it was back then, when an artist was signed to, one studio and had it in their contract to do 20 pictures or 10 pictures or whatever, they would have their own in-house wardrobe department. But afterwards, around about this time, what year was this?
58.
58.
Yeah.
It would have been, everything would have been outsourced. But the methodology in clothing all of the artists, the key artists and the extras, would be no different to how it is today.
I mean, with presumably back in these days, there was no such thing as concept artists working on the
Oh,
wardrobe.
they
It was just
were.
whatever we've
Oh,
got, we
yeah.
would just put on them.
Yeah, they no, genuinely, they really were. They really were. There were concept artists from a really early stage in movie making. And we're going back to the
Okay.
silent era. They used to have concept artists that would do renderings of scenes and sequences and
Mm.
characters and
I mean, I would
um,
understand storyboarding and stuff like that, but I mean, like actually
yeah,
designing people's costumes, that was done by
yeah, yeah,
concept artists
yeah,
as well. Huh.
yeah.
I
You
would
would
have
have
thought
you
you
would
grab something off the
yeah.
rack and said, "Look, you look good in that. That would do."
Yeah, I mean, if you look at any of the musicals, right? So if we go back to, I mean, this is still the era of the musical, the big
Mm.
Hollywood musical as well. So,
Like the
as well as the
Hammerstein stuff and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So when we go, particularly when we go to Technicolor, um, all the Gene Kelly stuff, everything is handcrafted. Absolutely, especially things like gentlemen prefer blondes and all that
I guess
kind of stuff.
Calamity Jane had a pretty bespoke wardrobe, didn't she?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
all
and
had to be
even
made.
but do you know what? I think you've actually hit upon something really quite a real salient point there, because it's when we don't realize that these costumes are hand designed and handmade for the principal artists. That's when the wardrobe department has really done their job. The same way,
Mm.
if we don't notice a special effect,
Yeah.
that's when the special effect has done its job. But I think you've actually maybe sort of stumbled on a really good point there, because we would, or to the common or garden person, they would look at this and just think, these are sort of off the shelf, off the hanger,
Mm.
rather than bespoke fitted costumes. So no, that's a really good point.
Yeah, that's my one. That's it. That's all you get for the whole stream.
Is it you're rationing them?
It's just all I've got. That's it. I'm spent. I'm done. I'm just going to give really stupid statements and jokes from now on, I'm afraid.
Okay, this is where we really start to see she's in danger now, because now we've got this fucking very. I'm pretty sure this character might be a lesbian. It's never explained, but
I don't know what gives you that idea. For me, it's the horror.
This is pretty fucking
It's like
progressive.
marijuana. Oh my god, marijuana! No way.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because I think very
Quaint
rare was there
times.
films that had marijuana. Was I think before, I thought like the earliest depiction of having marijuana in movies was a few dollars more with India, because he smokes a couple of spliffs in that film. But turns out no, this was probably, it was earlier than that.
This is what I was thinking. Was maybe back in the day, this film was like pretty damn controversial because it's dark already. But then you throw things like marijuana, and there's brothels featured and things like that. It's like,
Yeah,
whoa,
Yeah, no, and then the fucking drug his wife up, everything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wasn't about, so I had no idea what the reaction was, and I'm not assuming any of you guys were either. I'm sure you're much younger than that. But do you know, in some manner,
yeah. I mean, it was pretty prevalent. I mean, it really was prevalent, because there are a few movies that were made around about this time and even earlier. Some kind of drug movies. I think one was called Reefer Man, and yeah, there was
Reefer Madness.
and there's another one that's
it's not a superhero film, though.
no, and there's another one that's warning about the about the dangers of things like LSD. Excuse me.
Is it called the Crack Pack?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Yum.
But yeah, I mean, all the way back to the 30s. I've got some posters of them actually somewhere, so I'll try and dig those out. Some really early kind of sort of, and the moral to the story is never take drugs kind of movie.
Yeah, don't take someone else's drugs.
Yeah. But yeah,
Sorry,
it was a big thing. I do apologise, but I just quickly jumping in. I mean, it was a big thing. I mean, if you read any of the books on the Hollywood scandals of the 20s, 30s, and 40s, and there are some great books on particular Hollywood scandals of the time, you'll see exactly how prevalent drug taking was, especially
I imagine all the studio
among
execs were
actors.
coked off their faces, surely.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
We had what was it? Robert Mitchum as well coming out with a fucking after getting busted with marijuana, and he just showed up like he was fucking starring in a big movie. He's
yeah.
crazy, man. I do like this scene as well. We do get a little bit more context into why Quillen is the way he is. I mean, Gold's telling him about Vargas. He knows, that he's accusing him of framing Sanchez, but he's so kind of in his own. He's in his own despair at the moment as well. He's drinking for the first time in a long time as well. He really looks like he's hating himself more and more.
Well, he's also had to make a deal that he's not happy with. He just has to. He's not
to
happy
make a
about
deal
making
with a
deal
criminal to save his own ass.
Exactly. Yeah,
right,
he
you're right.
despises criminals. He generally does. He's not. He doesn't. I mean, as I say, I feel from this film, he doesn't feel like he's doing anything wrong. He is the ends justify the means. And he's had this long career, and his wife got murdered, and he's seen criminals, that don't go down when they should, and he's like, well, I'm going to make steps to make sure that they do.
I know, and it says he does add a bit of tragedy to him as well, even though he's this slovenly, gross guy. There probably was a good guy there once. There was a
characters that aren't this good these days. This is some really good, subtle, and as I say, there's been no exposition scene. There's been nobody with a monologue going, "Oh, he was a great guy back in the day," and now he's just lost his way and all that kind of stuff. It's all done very subtly. It wouldn't be done this way these days.
Yeah,
they make a point of
as well because
his tragic backstory. They would.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, it doesn't justify what he does. It just gives context to why he is the way he is. That's what modern writers really need to fucking.
They can't do it to save their lives, mate. They can't do it to save their lives.
No, you're right. I mean, everything just has to be explained. Please stop just signposting the story for us. That's all we want. We want to be able to sit there. There's as an audience, sitting there watching a movie, it's an intellectual process, right? So we have to decipher not just the pictures, but the dialogue that's happening on screen. So it's down to us. We don't need things spelled out. We just don't need it. That's the whole part of what the entertainment is. But they have to stop the signposting. It's ridiculous.
They just treat the audience like idiots, and it could be argued that some of them are these days. But you can't expect the film to do all the lifting. It gets very frustrating, very boring, very banal, and it affects the creativity of the movie.
Yeah, completely.
I know, because the audience are always idiots. We fucking know when a character is going through without saying words. If you get a good enough actor, he can convey that.
Oh, absolutely. You can get characters that can do it without a word. You can get characters that can convey exactly what they're thinking just by their face. They don't have to say a damn word. They don't need a script. They can literally just with a flick of the eyes or a set of the face. And there's some actors out there that are really, really, really good at it. And even those actors, the script lets them down, and the script ends up, ruining their good work. So,
a good example was when we were watching No Country for Old Men last week. It's more of an example of sort of writing and the way people interpret sort of body language and connotations and all the rest of it. It was when Kelly MacDonald, the caller?
Yeah.
She turned up to the hotel where her husband had just been killed, and rather than Tommy Lee Jones coming out and saying, "Oh, I'm afraid your husband's being killed," and this and that and the other, he took his hat off and just looked at her.
All he does.
All she needed to know.
Tommy Lee Jones is one of those actors that can do it. He's got quite an expressive face anyway. Normally grumpy, but he's got quite an expressive face.
Just that act of taking his hat off was all she needed to know, because of that sort of convention of.
And it does more than any dialogue.
Respect, yeah.
You can even do it with a mask on. I'm gonna say,
the amount of fucking emotion he conveys with a mask that barely fucking moves its face. That is a really good example, and
Yeah, I'm going
because
to say
Viggo Mortensen, because Viggo Mortensen
Return
has
of the
to use his
Jedi.
body, doesn't he? Yeah.
So you've got Return of the Jedi, you've got the Emperor lightning Luke Skywalker,
Oh yeah.
and
Fucking
you've
the
got
way the camera
Vader. He
pans
just
onto
tilts
Darth
his
Vader's
head ever
face.
so slightly, and the way he does it, you know exactly what he's thinking. And I don't need George Lucas's stupid Blu-ray edition where he goes, no,
That was so fucking
silent.
retarded.
No, that's good.
So good. And you can tell exactly, you don't know, just that simple gesture that he makes where he just looks, and it's perfect. It conveys everything you need. So you don't even need your face to do it. Sometimes you can do it just for emotion. And it's as you say, it's kind of a lost art now, unfortunately. Everything needs to be signposted, everything needs to be put in your face so much that you can't see anything else beyond it. There's no nuance, there's no subtlety, there's no there's no form of expression beyond the obvious.
Yeah, with absolutely no due respect, do you think the modern audience are just getting dumber? The sort of the TikTok generation, where
I think there's an element of younger people not prepared to put in the work to decipher and to get the most from material.
A lot of them are
to
living in
consume something and forget it rather than analyze it and appreciate it. But that is just these TikTok idiots. That doesn't mean the rest of us are like that. Some of us appreciate fine film and art that has, as Adam Grace just said, subtext. We don't need everything to be obvious. We don't need everything to be broken down into 2-minute segments and have an action scene every 10 minutes. We're quite happy to perceive things in different ways and then to talk about those perceptions as adults, and have different perspectives on things. I did a stream earlier with Lord Toxic. He put Alien Romulus as second only to Aliens. He loved it. I hated the bloody film. I thought it was awful. But we can talk about these things, and even though we don't have the same viewpoint, we still agreed on stuff, and we both learned things and both appreciated different points of view. This is something that has very, very much been lost from society. I'll stop ranting now. Sorry, I did say you weren't going to get any more good points.
Yeah, I think this scene is a little bit talky, but it's still really well written, and it does make sense to these characters as well. Because it does make a good point that we have to enforce the law, but the law we're already working hard enough as it is. It's like, but that's the whole point of being a police officer. It's supposed to be hard work. If it was easy, we'd be living in a police state, and it's a little preachy, but it is still well handled, and the performances are still so fucking strong here, though.
Yeah, and I do think that's actually a pretty good line,
Yeah,
I think that's a really good line.
Police officers these days need to watch that fucking scene and realize what they're fucking getting into.
Yeah.
Oh, who'd be a cop these days?
God.
Yeah. Christ, man. But it is a very good. I don't know if there's any significance to the pigeon egg here or something, because I've not looked up the trivia about it. But damn, that would. We found out more about the dynamite. 15 sticks of dynamite, and there's still 2 sticks missing. Yeah, and he's letting them know that the dynamite that would belong to him as well is it could be strong evidence that he framed that kid as well.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be looking at not only the end of his career, but also the tarnishing of his legacy, all the previous cases that he's done. And he's saying
all the hard work he's done as well. It's just going to be thrown down.
Exactly. That's his character.
And he just fucking goes all out as well. He just fucking lets it all out. Every single bit of bitterness that he's gone through in his entire career.
All those innocent men he framed and sent to the chair.
Yeah.
Well, maybe innocent. We don't know. I mean, as I say, his method is, once he suspects somebody and has motive, he will then plant the evidence to make them be convicted. They could well be guilty and just not have the evidence. He thinks he's doing the right thing every time.
Yeah, in order
And you
to
get
kind of fast track
Austin Gray's
everything.
right about this Lord Angles as well. I've
Yeah.
said this before. It really does make him look more towering as well and intimidating. It's
Another Orson Wells hallmark. I love it. Sorry, Inside Man, you were saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of,
Continue.
I mean, the impression that I always sort of got from this was that, you know, he was probably, you know, a very slender, very good-looking, quite suave man.
Oh
But
yeah,
it's
because
almost like the picture of.
because
I kind of see him as like the picture of Dorian Gray. So with every single one of those people that he sets up, that he plants evidence on and sends to the chair through nefarious means, that he becomes more and more grotesque with every one. And now we've kind of reached a point where he's, you know, he has this physical grotesqueness about him. And I always
Physical and
kind of
moral
saw him as,
corruption. Yeah.
yeah,
it's like
I just sort of saw him as you know, a personification of the picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah, no, that's a cool point. I like that.
Yeah, that is actually a really fucking good point because he's becoming more and more rotten as it goes on, and this is basically the camel that brought the straws back because now he's doing deals with criminals, criminal he fucking hates, and he's
And he
becoming more.
sacrificed his life as well. You know, he doesn't have a good life. He doesn't look after himself. You know, he's always in disheveled clothing. He's not got any close female friends. He hasn't seen Marlene Dietrich's character in bloody years and stuff, you know. So he's sacrificed and poisoned himself by what he's doing. It's a good point. Good point.
Yeah, and while Quinlan is he is very principled and he's very moral and he still looks good, doesn't he? He looks very refined. He's
Vargas, you mean?
he's well dressed. Yeah, Vargas, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Vargas, sorry.
Yeah, he's the counterpoint to he's the counterpoint to Quinlan, isn't he? He's the mirror opposite, I suppose.
Completely. Yeah.
And Gordon, he just cannot see that Quinlan is not the guy he was. He's not that same guy who saved his life all those years ago. And he's still very blandly. He's got this bland admiration for him. But now, it looks like he is taking fucking Jugger Randy on the deal now as well. He's he's already throwing a few accusations at Vargas that he's involved in the drugs and that all this drug case, all this playing that I'm taking his drug dealers down is all a cover up because he's into it himself and he's already about to plant the seeds of tarnishing that guy's legacy. Yeah, and God, fucking makeup on him is great as well because I think they put like some little padding on his face as well to make him look even more grotesque.
Yeah.
But now you see that.
As I say, he reminds me of Lieutenant Eckhart from the Batman.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, and I do appreciate Schwartz as well. He seems
so
to.
Apparently, so just one last thing. I never realised this until I saw it like 2 days ago. Apparently, that's not Biggs, Porkins from Star Wars.
Oh yeah, the guy who played that cat in Batman. Yeah, he's been in fucking loads of him actually.
I had no idea it's the same dude. I was like, oh shit, of course it was.
Porkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get that these days, would you? Twitter would be on fire. We got a fat pilot and we called him Porkins. Brilliant.
Yeah, that fucking Family Guy joke as well, where he's like, I'm having trouble keeping my ship afloat, and he just crashes into the fucking Death Star because it's so damn man. Oh man.
We've got a lesbian pilot called Licky Vicky.
Yeah, Licky Vicky.
I'm glad somebody likes the work I do.
I like Schwartz as well because he's very loyal to Vargas right here. He's willing to help him out here because he suspects the same thing, and I like this character. It's a very small character, but I like him. Yeah, now they aren't fucking around. Now they're gonna fuck her up. They're gonna drug her everything.
It's weird because they were talking about syringes in the film, but obviously you don't inject marijuana unless you see certain Facebook posts. So what are they talking about when they talk about the syringes? Did they sedate her maybe and then
bit of itch, I think.
Get her up?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Okay, reviews awesome. Can't wait. Amazing work. You do. Sadly, badly undersubbed. let's shout out your channel more. Ask that Essex producer. I think NAB was his name. Yeah. Yeah. Subscribe to every one of them. Yeah. Subscribe to every one of them. I usually do that at the end of the show, but fuck it, I'll do it now. Yeah, because
Need
I want
Inside Man to do a channel. The amount of insight that he could offer would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm itching to get one started at the I mean, obviously, I've got on my account and sort of channel-ish, but I've got no content at the moment. And
Just
yeah,
start off with something small. Just do a couple of quick 10-minute, 15-minute videos.
Yeah,
I think it'd be very, very popular. I really do.
Yeah, I just wish that I could really grab some time. Actually, it kind of brings me back to something that Orson Welles had said when he was asked, if he had his time over, would he do everything again? He said, well, if I had my time over again, he said, there wouldn't be time to do everything that I've done so far.
Wow.
That was a really quite an interesting quote.
It's a singular mind, isn't it?
Rule that man into submission to create a channel. Yeah, like I said, you could always just do some quick little live streams where you can just give your thoughts, on off the cuff or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a shitload of editing for now. Just have your notes, whatever, and give your views then, and you'll have some content.
I would like to, obviously include everybody that's been so generous. I mean, yourself, Luke, and Fandad, and Critical, and Lance, and Stupenzo, and Blue Collar Loser. Everybody that's been so kind and generous to me over the last few months, and I really appreciate that. You do allow me on these streams. I genuinely do appreciate it, and it's always a pleasure to be in everybody's company.
You are the man.
I very much enjoy these Friday breakdowns with like-minded people. Very much.
You are the fucking boy.
Yeah, it's great.
It's something to do as well, isn't it? Yeah, fuck
yeah.
This is harsh. This as well, man. Jesus, look at that close up on the face as well. That's fucking nightmare fuel. That.
That's where it turns.
Very good at conveying mood, Orson Wells. Very good at conveying mood.
He really does, yeah. And I don't think this film could have looked this good in color. I mean, it needs to be in black and white, especially for the shadows and the way the lights hit them as well from certain angles.
That scene we just saw in the motel room there, I thought, fuck it, now this has took a really dark downward spiral. When he said grab her legs, I thought something was.
No, I got me. I thought the same thing.
That as well. Yeah,
very off. I can't say it, but
I thought they were gonna fucking gang rape or something like that.
Said that anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll get the stream took down.
But if you look at the quality of this film, right, and the people that were involved in it, you think to yourself, how on earth was this made for under $1 million? How was it made for under $1 million?
That's crazy.
It's so well done as well because
wasn't a greedy bastard, probably.
Yeah,
and as I said, back in those days, they just found ways with the production. They found ways to do films cheap. They took shortcuts and got away with it. You didn't have the bloat that you have in modern Hollywood, which is most of the reason behind them.
Yeah, they really fucking over budget their films now, especially when you got better films that are doing the same thing but with less money and much more people talented or people that are talented but are treated a bit better as well. Yeah, Godzilla Minus One is already a great example, and I think
it's under 15 million. It's cheaper than most episodes of TV these days.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's just incredible, isn't it?
And there's a great video that Toho did where they show exactly how they did it. And again, it was lots of making do. It was lots of people doing multiple roles in the film, not acting, but like production roles, for example.
Yeah.
And it was just a cleverly economically made film, and Hollywood just doesn't know how to do it anymore.
There was a film that I've recently bought, but I haven't watched yet. I bought it solely on watching the trailer, and it's by the director of Godzilla Minus One, and it's called The Last Zero. and it
Okay.
looks phenomenal. And the flying sequences that you see in Godzilla are exactly the same in this movie that he made 3 or 4 years beforehand.
Ah,
So I'm going to get that watched and give you my opinions
nice.
on that. The Last Zero, it's called.
Yeah.
Looks
I'll
pretty
put
good.
that on my watch list.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
yeah, let's have a look. It's interesting because it sounds like it's almost by the same kind of subject matter. Zeros being
Yeah.
kamikaze
Yeah,
planes,
it's,
and
yeah, it's to do with like the Second World War and somebody's grandfather.
Yeah.
Telling stories about her grandfather.
sounds interesting. Minus One just embarrassed the shit out of Hollywood.
Out of everything.
Oh, it did.
It
It
just-
fucking did, man.
It just embarrassed them. It really stomped them into the floor. Godzilla did. Because then you got Godzilla and bloody Kong or whatever it was called the next year, which
That was fucking horrible. But why did I
Had
enjoy
its-
that movie?
it had its
Yeah.
it had its moments, I would say, but it's nothing like the same kind of film, and it costs obviously God knows how many as much.
I mean, there was more convenience in that movie than a
Oh my
fucking
word!
corner
Not
shop.
just.
I think
silly film.
part of it seems to be is I've said it a couple of times that they see something that everybody's doing that somebody else is doing, or maybe what they're doing, and they think that they've somehow found the secret sauce, cracked the code, found the the hidden the hidden gem in the dung heap,
Yeah, the
and
formula
they
that
suddenly
works.
feel like they know how to do it again.
Mm.
And this is the fear that I got with this latest Wolverine thing, that they really do think that because this movie has gone really, really well,
Yeah,
that they think, so now we know we can just cut and paste
replicate
this
that,
kind
and
of stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
And of course,
And people will be less forgiving a second time round.
Yeah, they
Next time
just
round,
can't.
people will pick apart the film.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know. So no, you're absolutely right. They need to not get complacent, and Hollywood gets very, very complacent.
Yeah.
Very
Can,
complacent. I mean, look at
yeah,
Marvel films. The Marvel films were carbon copies of each other, formula-wise.
yeah.
Horrible.
So yeah, now we've come to a scene where Gold is. He can tell there's confliction. He does not want to believe it, but he's looking at all the evidence now, and he knows that Vargas is right. Quinlan really is corrupt, and you can tell it's breaking his heart as well. He's this guy saved his life. How can this guy who fucking saved my life, and
Well, he's been lied to as well, hasn't he? It's the betrayal.
It is. It's so heartbreaking. Look at the look on his face. You just feel bad for him. You really do.
That's such a great shot as well. Look at that with the perspective and the filing cabinets and the lights running down. Oh man, that's so nice.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
beautiful.
great.
Beautiful.
God damn it! I'm starting to like this movie. What the hell is going on?
Done it again.
Set of
Delve into
assholes.
all these little bits of it that make it work. You can see and yeah, and this is where Vargas has found out that his wife has been taken, and this guy was just fucking. He's just
This
kind of
whole
just been-
sequence here with him and his dialogue is just so weird. I
It is, yeah.
don't know if it's just a crap acting job or if the character's been written weird or what. But this is what you were talking about earlier for Fundamentals. This is the one point that it really, really, really stood out to me. Uncle Joe was just kind of like, oh yeah, he's just kind of that kind of guy. But this guy is just bizarre. This character.
Yeah, and I don't think
yeah.
it was Dennis Weaver's fault. I think he was just trying his best with what he was given. But
yeah, I have no idea. But I mean, obviously, as Orson Wells being his director, should have given him some direction. And I'd love to know what that direction was.
no,
There were. I do apologise. Sorry, Luke.
Yeah, apparently Orson Welles did have fun making this. Apparently, no studio interference played the part until after the film was made. So I don't know. He's one of the weird moments in the movie. I'm not going to lie. It's one of them.
It's worth bearing in mind that once they had the first screening, the first two screenings, and the film was taken away from Orson Welles, that not only did the studio chop great big chunks of this out, but they also reshot some stuff and added new stuff without Orson Welles say so.
Oh, I hate that. That is one thing that I absolutely hate. As somebody who's done some writing and has had my writing fucked with by people,
yeah,
I hate that.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate that. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
'cause it
some
feels
of some
really
of these
endearing,
some of
innit?
these small scenes were not directed by Orson Welles, and
Okay.
you know, I don't. I mean, I'm not sure whether I could personally tell, you know, that they were or weren't, because obviously they, you know, the setups are very similar, and you know they do run relatively smoothly. You know, they do flow. Um, but I think you might have actually found one that wasn't directed by Orson Welles.
Mm.
Well,
Just
'cause it's like a
this
very
whole
important scene as
sequence
well.
stuck out like a sore thumb to me. It really
Mm.
did.
It's a
It's
very
not in
important
keeping with the
scene
rest
as
of the
well
film.
because this is the one where they've stolen his gun as well, and so that's going to be.
Yeah, he was very concerned about his gun and less so about his wife.
Gun!
Like when fucking wife's been kidnapped by a
Yeah.
bunch of gangbangers, and she's probably, you know, not going to walk right for
Charlton
the next
Heston's
3 weeks.
always worried about his guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Good.
thankfully, it
Typical
isn't.
dead
It's not on
ends.
so long though. It's not on so long
Yeah.
because we do get this really fucking great scene as well where
This is the directing here is so good.
I know, and it's
So
very
good.
claustrophobic as well, isn't it? Just
Very much so, yeah. Again,
and
Orson Welles is very good at conveying mood in a scene,
Mm.
and yeah,
hey,
this
blue
film
collar.
medicine is really good.
Hey.
Hey, dude.
I know, and everything as well. And I like the way they shoot Janet Leigh as well, where she's writhing around in the bed all sweating. You just feel that. You just feel it as well.
There's
And obviously, they
Ronnie
haven't done
Robert,
anything too drastic to her. They've just drugged her, and that's it. But and I don't think Joe seems to want to be violent either. He doesn't seem like a very
I mean, they're
violent
just trying
guy.
to they're trying to discredit Vargas, aren't they? Or trying
Yeah.
to kind of blackmail him, discredit him, kind of, you know, put his name into disrepute by having his wife be a junkie.
But fortunately, Joe's not that smart as well because, come on, you just made a deal with a crooked cop and he's going to cover his tracks as well, and you're the fucking loose end. Look. And yet it is almost like a horror film as well because he's like, he becomes, this is where Quilland really does become this fucking vicious monster, this inhumane monster here. The way his eyes just look all dead while he's trying to kill him and he's just trying to get away from him. It's really intense and claustrophobic, and the Dutch angles really do give that very uneasy feeling.
Yeah,
of the scene. It's
but it's funny. Something that Van Dad actually said, and that was, you know, I think I might actually I'm starting to like this film, and I think part of that is, and this is just a theory, that sometimes I think when you start looking at the stills and the composition of the stills, you know, you can get the composition
Yeah,
an awful lot
definitely.
better. You know, looking at the stills, and you know, you can see them as individual shots of, you know, real artistry.
You can see more the sort of the thought process that went into
Yeah,
the entire
yes,
scene.
you can. Yeah.
No, this whole scene is just a fantastic bit of direction. It really is.
I know, and you got fucking Janet Leigh just writhing on this bed as well. She's all fucking doped up. She's sweating. She's uncomfortable. And yeah, you really see the shadows on his face as well. Oh man, this is so fucking brutal. It's not gruesome, but it's very fucking violent and very visceral. And yeah, blue collar. If I get to 1,000, if I get to 500, I can get super chats. If I get to 1,000, then I can get monetized. But it's getting the watch hours as well. That's the thing. And yet she wakes up.
It's gruesome.
It's so good. It's so good.
That's almost on par with Jaws.
Yeah, and the eyes are like bulging out as well. It's like, damn.
Just a quick word for Blue Collar Loser. He is arguably the most lovable YouTuber. I think he's just such a really wonderful person. I think everybody has only the best things to say about him. He's just such a lovely guy.
He is fucking hell. Blue collar man. If it wasn't for him, I probably would not have got involved in this shit.
I'm thinking of adopting him. Like, I don't know if he'd be up for that or what.
Well, I was going to put my adoption papers in first, so
you
you better be quick.
Right.
You better be quick.
What about joint custody?
Mock time style. We'll put the music on. You can get the weapon each.
Yeah.
We'll just go for joint custody.
Yeah, I think we should have a spaghetti western duel.
Oh, a bit like a fistful of travellers checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's calling out for help, and the guys are like, "Hey, naked woman, yeah, man." But yeah, fucking Vargas is real pissed off though. He's not taking any shit now. He's confronting these thugs about it. He's not being an upstanding citizen. He's just going full out fucking no holes barred with these bastards. He does not care anymore.
Pick the wrong one to fuck with.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like he lifts that fucking shot guy up as well. It's like a rag doll. It's great. Yeah, but now thankfully, because she's been calling for help, they know where she is, so they can get her. And yeah, he's seen just what kind of danger she was in, and just how dangerous these fucking people are. And now Gold's like, yeah, you know what? This cannot go on. This has gone too fucking far now. Indeed, even he's willing to work with Vargas now. Yeah, just the look on that face as well. You can just see it.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is some good fucking acting. Not one word is said, and already you know what this guy is thinking.
Yeah.
And this is where we start to come to the climax as well. We're getting there. He's going to work with him, and he's going to wear a wire, and you can see the confliction as well. The way he says about it.
I've got to admit, I shouldn't have, but I was laughing as he was scamping around that great big box to try and stay in range for the signal. Like,
yeah.
What a palaver.
Yeah, and God, I love the fucking climax as well. It's just so quiet and so unnerving and so suspenseful. It's no music is played, but
was it
Henry
Mancini? Was it Henry Mancini who scored this? Was it?
I don't know. I'll have to have a look at Henry Mancini. I know the name.
He did the Pink Panther films.
Yep, Henry Mancini.
It was.
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah. Because
did they do the Carry On movies then?
No, that was.
Because some of I was saying to the lads before, some of the music on here sounds like it's either Carry On Camping or Carry On Behind. Like,
you hear a lot of like fucking 50s, like sort of hill.
Yeah. The sort of like that plays is Joe gets murdered is proper up in your face dramatic kind of.
Yeah. Crazy.
Kind of thing that these days she hands him are going dong dong dong.
Yeah.
Jawns everywhere and that kind of stuff.
But you can sort of see, when you look at Quinlan earlier on in the scene, you can see, yeah, the end is fucking near for this guy. This guy is on his last fucking legs now. He is done. He's drunk now. The alcohol is really fucking him up. He's just gone.
Too many candy bars and a gummy leg.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the scene where they're setting up the fucking radio as well. I mean,
yes, I couldn't.
They've got to be real careful with this as well, though, because one little wrong, going too close in range can make the signal go a bit haywire and make noises that you don't need to. It's
having a giant speaker on the front of it.
I know.
What was that?
They've got to keep in range as well. I mean, they can't get too far, otherwise they'll lose the evidence, and he's got to work fucking hard to get the evidence he needs against Quinlan. It's damn.
No shotgun mics yet.
Yeah, I know. And he's not happy about it as well because he has to fucking sneak around in this instead of going face to face head on. And yeah, and I love this little fucking scene as well, like this last little interaction with
Marlene.
Yeah, Marlene. Yeah, and he's like, "Can you read my future?" And he's like, "You have none."
You haven't got one. That's fucking.
Thanks,
I have to tell you a story at this point. There was my mum's 96-year-old now. It was a couple of years ago. Yeah. She's in a home now, bless her. But when she was living in her own house, somebody knocked on the door and said, "Oh, I'm here about windows. Do you fancy some new windows, PVC and double glazing and that?" She says, "No, not really. I've got some windows, thanks." He says, says, "Well, what about in the future?" She says, "Son, I haven't got one." And he just laughed.
Oh, God bless her.
Down the path. I know. She's got a terribly wicked sense of humour.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Move trying to sell double glazing to somebody that old, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. I mean, my mum's 90, and
Wow.
and she was actually doorstepped by somebody today, who basically pressurized her into signing some thing for some
No.
non-existent internet company. And I'm always warning her. I'm saying, Mum, just don't. If anyone tries to doorstep you, just say no, thank you. And if anyone phones you up, you get any texts or anything like that, just ignore it. And of course, she phoned me up after the event after she'd given all of her bank account details and everything. So, so I kind of actually spent quite a bit of time, trying to sort that out for her and make sure the bank and her provider was,
Put a
yeah.
block on it and stuff. Shit.
Yeah,
What a set of
wankers,
assholes,
White dodgy
sick wankers.
bastards out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a shame you weren't there.
Fucking hell.
It's a shame you weren't there with a big stick.
I would have kicked his ass.
Yeah. Assholes.
Yeah, I know. Fucking hell. I keep getting fucking cold calls all the time from like Swindon saying about accident shit. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Where you getting my number? Every time I get a bloody call from London or Swindon or Newport or some shit like that, I always, and it's all landlines as well. I always just block them.
I don't answer the phone, mate. If it's important, they'll leave me a message. It's fine.
Exactly.
I don't answer the phone. I literally don't, unless I know the number.
And I love how they have to work hard to fucking get the evidence. They've got to get him outside everything and make sure he doesn't get suspicious. And it almost feels like when you play those video games where you do a stealth mission and you have to listen in.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
45 minutes later, somebody hears your footsteps. It's like,
oh no. You work so fucking hard to stealth, and then suddenly the fucking alarm goes off. You're surrounded, and you have to go in guns blazing. It's one of those things.
Stealth was never my strong point. I'm not gonna lie.
I love the stealth missions. I love the stealth missions. I mean, the run and gun missions can get a bit boring very quickly, but something about trying not to get caught by the enemy just makes the experience very rewarding.
It's getting caught by your wife screaming at the fucking television. What is wrong with you? Get to bed. It's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning. Sorry.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I love how Gold just sort of brings up his wife as well. It's like, this is all because you're still fucking pissed off about you're still heartbroken about how your wife was lost to these criminals, and yet once again you're not only getting information that could help Vargas, but you're getting more context into his character and why he is the way he is.
They're still friends at the end of the day. He's just he's been betrayed and he knows what he needs to do.
Yeah,
doesn't mean he has to enjoy doing it.
It did make me question at one point whether or not Quinlan had actually murdered his wife for some reason, because he killed Grandy in the same fashion with a bootlace or whatever.
Yeah. Always like seen it as a good example to get away, because that's how the last killer got away with it, wasn't it? Just using fingerprints off a string. But I was like, wait, really? Can you? I thought you could. I don't.
There was a blatant disregard for fingerprints in this movie. Like every piece of evidence, everyone picked it up and went, nah. Like the cane in the bedroom, they picked that up and handled that. The dynamite was picked up and handled.
Yeah, because that's how Gold found the evidence, wasn't it? That's how we knew, because he found the cane in the fucking room. I forgot to mention that earlier.
I guess if everybody's been handling it, then you can kind of hide the fact that Sanchez's fingerprints aren't on it, because that'd be a pretty giveaway that he didn't do it.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting that fancy stuff all muddied up now in that dirty water because he's.
This scene was so funny. He was trying to scamper across the base of the bridge.
Yeah, and this is where the game gets given up as well, because he hears the
echo.
noise, and he can hear himself repeating back. He can hear the echo of the radio.
Yeah. It's not a great area to be if you want to be clandestine in an audio kind of way.
Was there not a volume control on that box? Surely. It's a 30-watt speaker. Hello. Who's there?
Echo. Okay. Airplane. Yeah, and he fucking shoots his partner now. The game's all given up, and that's when we lead to the confrontation that we saw in Get Shorty as well. That really great scene with John Travolta. It's yeah, look, I love how he's like washing his hands in the dirty water because it's all blooded. You know, he's got blood on his hands now, and he can't get it off
because of the filth in the water. It's inescapable.
Yeah. Oh god, this is a really good fucking confrontation between these two. It's,
I love his delivery here as well. He's defeated. He's distant. He's detached. Very good.
Yeah, and he's got nowhere to turn, so he's going to try and fucking kill Vargas now. It's
end of the line. All options are disappearing rapidly.
Yeah, and he shoots as well just to make him turn around because he doesn't want to shoot him in the back. He wants to see him die.
So shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
Good and proper.
But now Gold gets the last one in. You know, he manages to redeem himself. He saves him before he dies. It's a very heroic death as well.
Ironically, shoots him in the back.
But it looks like it's all done. I mean, she doesn't seem to have been drugged up too bad because she looks like she's recovered pretty fucking well already. She's
looks like she's had a good time.
Yeah, she's probably used to it. Hollywood being Hollywood in those days.
Yeah, it's all over for them. He gets to go back to his wife and consummate their fucking marriage finally. But yeah, God, that look as well. Just that look like it's all over. It's his game is up now. That's the second bullet I stopped feel. And yeah, he fucking dies. It's then she gets to see him one last time as well, and
was she just randomly walking in the middle of the night to a bridge?
Well, I think he was heading her way, wasn't he? He was trying to get to her to see her, I think.
Fair enough. I'm just trying to destroy the movie as best I can.
We always need one, don't we? We always need one.
You've got to have.
It's a great line. He was a good man, but a lousy cop.
Yeah.
Yes, that's such a great line.
Yeah.
And then it fucking ends. And yeah, it's a really good. It's so fucking good. I can't believe.
Bollocks.
I did not watch this earlier. It's so well done, and the characters are so rich and so well written. And yeah, you get a couple of characters that are a little bit over the top, that feel a little bit like they could be in a different movie. But apart from that, yeah, it's a very good noir mystery with it's very dark and very moody, and got these, and it's very well shot, and there's a real tragedy to it as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's I mean, essentially, Quinlan, he is a good man. He is a, but it's kind of lost his way, and that's.
I know, because the system is already kind of broken, and it's broken him.
I think as well, like regardless of whether he is sort of subjectively a good or a bad person, I think he actually believes that he is good and he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, he has to do what is necessary. I mean, sometimes
the wrong thing for the right reasons.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the result would be the same, but my method is going to make things quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I will plunge my hands into the filth so no one else would. It's but the problem is though he's become that filth himself.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's
that's the
funny.
whole, you know, over the course of his career, he's just become, as Inside Man says, more corrupt morally and physically. And then he's reached this point where he's just, you know.
The other sad thing is that is it Sanchez? He confessed to the murder or whatever. Didn't really find out whether he'd actually done it or not.
Actually, go back anyway, because I think that was something I may have missed. So.
That Miss Dietrich said, it was one of the last lines in the film. Something like it doesn't really matter now because Sanchez has confessed, which I thought was that's a bit brutal, considering he was framed. Unless they've sort of beaten a submission out of him.
Probably did, but then again, who was it that planted the bomb? He looks like he had the same build as Sanchez.
Yeah. Could very well have been.
Yeah, it's the
fact that the
not
dynamite
really a happy ending, is it? I mean, maybe it is a happy ending for Vargas and his wife, but
it's a film noir, though, isn't it? So
we've got to have a bit of nihilism, don't we?
Yeah, and also I think, you know, it's not. I think it's quite nice to have, you know, a degree of ambiguity as well. You know, things that we are allowed to think about. You know, but what I do like is some of the symbolism and, you know, metaphors and things like that are in this that are so subtle, but we get them.
Please explain.
Yeah, like say for example, like him trying to wash the blood off his hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. You know, it's a great one. Once you've got blood on your hands, it can never be washed off.
Because he's so immersed in the filth that he sort of detests himself.
It's like the alcohol as well. The alcohol is a catalyst for his behaviours.
Yeah,
he had drunk for so long, and then he has that drink. That
Plus, apparently, so the kid probably did do the bomb anyway, even though.
This is what I'm saying. He didn't frame people randomly. He had a suspect, and let's say at least half the time he was right, but he made sure, and that's obviously you know.
I think the doubt was cast in our minds though because of that plant.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
he mustn't have done it then if he's been framed for it.
So the kid has actually done it, and
that's the irony, isn't it? He was right. He was right. He was doing the right thing for the
Quinlan was a bad man. He was right. He's a bad man who he can't understand why he is the way he is. That's
and he must have, you know, throughout his career sort of reached the point of total dismay and frustration and irritation at just watching people that he knows were guilty are just walking free
due to a lack of evidence.
Damn it.
But then, of course, you know, we have Vargas who, you know, is so clean and, you know, he's, you know, he believes in the justice. And he knows believing in the justice system.
Yeah, and he knows the system isn't perfect as well, but that's the life we chose. It's a hard life. We have to do it. We have to.
Yeah.
There's naivety there to a point, isn't there? Because you know he hasn't had the experiences that Quinlan's had. You know, the murder of his wife. He's just got a wife, so he has that happiness and that, you know, coming honeymoon and everything that Quinlan probably has had and has lost. So again, they're coming from very different perspectives and very different places. But they are mirror images of each other at the end of the day.
I think what's quite interesting is that if you look at the original title of the movie, Borderline, it's all to do with delineations. You know, the line between obviously
the line you're prepared to cross.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of lines there. There's the you know, the racial line between Vargas and his wife, and obviously the line between Quinlan and Vargas as well.
And the line between America and Mexico.
Yeah.
And all the lines of coke that they were doing at the time.
Yeah, you're probably right as well. But yeah, so but I do like the current title that we have. I do like this title.
Yeah, I like A Touch of Evil. I like the way that it just suggests that, you know, this ultimate corruption that Quinlan had just started with just that first time that he planted evidence, that first little touch, that first dip into doing the wrong thing, and it's all come to this.
No, brilliant film.
It's like
I think it's very, very good film. Very good film.
Yeah, because he's burdened by his past as well. He's burdened by the fact that he could not save his wife from the killer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
As I say, he's I don't even really think of him as a villain. I think of him as a tragic figure.
Yeah, very tragic figure. Yeah.
They're both on the flip sides of the same coin, aren't they? I mean, that's all you should always have. Your protagonist or antagonist, it's they should have this similarity but different approaches. Because that's what makes these that's what makes them compelling. They have to be like a contrast to each other.
But yeah, I think as all three of you said, he's kind of doing the right thing, but for the wrong thing for the right reason. Wanting the reason being justice and the incarceration of the perpetrators, but the methodology methodology just doesn't jive with the justice system. It doesn't, it just, we have to have this system, for all its faults, and right or wrong, everybody has to be seen to have justice done.
Yeah, it's due process, isn't it? You've got to go by the book, by the rules, and he's just filling in the gaps in that book. I suppose.
Fantastic choice. Really, I mean, you've made some amazing choices of movies on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really thank Zig's Horseman for it, though. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. I did send him the stream link in case he got off early, but unfortunately, it looks like it hasn't happened. And sorry, Ziggs, but we'll try and do another stream one day if you ever get a chance. It's just time zones with the Americans are always a little bit harder.
Of course. Yeah, but no, it's a right nice little addition to this series of streams that you're doing.
I can see why it's revered as a classic. I really can. Really can. As a the what do you think, Granddad? Do we bring it down a little bit?
Ooh, down with that sort of thing.
Yeah, down with the movies.
Boo.
Obviously, it was Get Shorted that got me aware of this movie, and I will play that clip because it's such a fucking good clip with John Travolta just enjoying this fucking ending. Let's get it up.
Good old Johnny.
Here it is.
Is she there? Did you bring my wife? She's in the car. She's got it all on tape. You sure you got enough?
Don't know if I'll get flagged for it, but fuck it.
I was going to say, yeah. Hope you'll be all right.
There's a second bullet I stopped for you. That's the second bullet. I stopped for you. You're going down, Orson.
Sure is.
Isn't somebody going to come and take him away?
Yeah, just a few minutes.
He wishes Marlene was going down.
Yeah. Give me some of that chili.
Yeah, and it's a character called Chili watching it as well.
Hey,
good spot.
He was some kind of a man.
The Red Hot Chili Palmers.
What does it matter what you say about people?
Adios.
Adios.
See ya.
Yeah, it's like a big kid in here.
I love Travolta's performance in this.
Yes.
Yeah, he's so fucking good in that movie. And you kind of whenever I watch that scene, I always think, oh yeah, that's me when I see my favorite movie. And some movies make that impression on you as well, and you can't help but
not many these days, sadly, but yeah.
Yeah, the past is the future. Unfortunately,
There's been a few good films this year, but generally the good stuff doesn't come from mainstream, big budget Hollywood films.
I hear that Alien Romulus is fucking awesome.
It is not.
Yeah, not because you did a stream with Blood Toxic, didn't you? And apparently
did.
he liked it and you didn't. It's
Yeah, and which is this is fine if people have different opinions. I have
It's
finished
subjective,
recording my review. I need to edit it and upload it, and it'll be up at some point tomorrow. So there's spoiler free always, so people can feel free to check that out without having the film ruined.
But it's I think it's great to have, these. I mean, look, viewing is subjective. We all get different things out of different things. It's that's how it works. Um, you know, we can look at any work of art, whether it's photography, whether it's a painting, sculpture,
Yep.
a movie,
And that
get
is
something.
the term, isn't it? Art.
Yeah,
Art is always open to interpretation.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
And it's, I think it's. I mean, I'm always was a little bit skeptical when you have art critics calling something art. I think really it's us, it's the viewer, it's the public, really, that should deem something as being art. Because we're the ultimate consumer. We're the one. One sort of heaving, sweating mass that goes and views these things.
It's the end of the food chain, isn't it? If
Yeah,
it's
we are. We're a
we
step.
give them the money. We
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, we're the people that matter, and I just wish that rather than having critical acclaim or looking for critical success for something, that they really would think of the end user. That's just the way it's always been, I guess. We can't all like the same thing.
No, absolutely not. There's going to be certain themes and certain things that appeal to different aspects of different people's personalities. But I would like to think that even if something doesn't necessarily, resonate with you on a personal level, from a subjective or from an objective level, you could still agree that it was well put together or badly put together, well written, badly written. There are certain things that fall outside of the emotional response, and that you can just be flat out critical towards and just say, look, this was objectively not well done, or this was objectively well done. So there are, when people, there is a truth at the end of the day there, with certain things, even if you might like something more than somebody else.
And also I think it's precisely what you say, right? It's precisely what you say in this respect, that if something pulls out some kind of emotional response from you, then that's precisely what it's meant to do. And that's when it becomes art. It's art, something that tugs the emotions. Doesn't matter whether it's something that makes you absolutely soil yourself and be sick laughing, or whether it's something that repulses you, as provided it actually creates that emotional response within you. That's what makes it artistic. I mean, there are many things that I'm sure we've all seen and we've looked at and thought, I can appreciate the craft involved in that. I can appreciate the skill that it took to put that together. But it didn't do anything for me. I think we've all had those moments. But then there are the other side of that, which is something is horribly made, horribly crafted, and pulls nothing out of you. We know that there are so many of those things at the moment, and that's why I think by doing something like this that Northern's doing, and everybody is doing, for example, your video on Star Wars, which I thought was excellent, by the way.
Thank you. I've got another one.
From A New Hope to No Hope.
New Hope to No Hope. Excellent video. Really, really good. But looking back, as Fandad said, looking back is the future. It's true. It's true because there is so much dross that we're being served in abundance.
There's a very disposable and throwaway nature to entertainment these days, which I
Yeah.
really don't like. There's no permanence. It's on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a procession of,
Yeah.
and that there's probably just as many films being released before, but just not the same kind of very cynical nature to them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't feel the love with a lot of stuff these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
It feels
You're right.
soulless, and I don't like that.
Yeah, it feels soulless. It feels corporate. But yeah, you're right. There's something going wrong, because I always look at it from this point of view. I see a movie, and I think to myself, would I want to, right, first of all, if I've seen it at the cinema, would I want to own a physical copy of that? Would I want to invest my money into buying a physical copy of that and invest the space on my shelf, in my cabinet or wherever? Would I want that to take up space in my home? And if the answer is no, then it's a completely disposable piece of work.
Yes. Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah. There's it's intrinsic value in something, and what you get out of it. And there's so much stuff that you can just watch and just forget.
Yeah.
Just forget. You just you watched it. You consumed it.
You consumed it. Yeah. It's exactly that. You consumed it. You don't. There's no. It's joyless. There's no joy.
No joy, no investment, no soul.
Yeah. It's I look. I can watch. Don't get me wrong. I watch new movies. I do, but I get very little out of them.
Yes.
That's why I'm always talking about older movies.
Generally, for me, it's the writing as well. There's so many films I've seen that are beautifully directed, well acted, brilliantly put together. The score's fantastic. The script, dog shite.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the difference between eating a steak and a fucking pot noodle.
Yeah.
You get very little nutrition out of one of them.
Modern writing these days is.
The other thing that I can't work out is where the fuck did this mindset come from that if you do not like our product, then you're basically just a piece of shit, and all the other names and whatever that goes with it.
Yep,
a lot of people have been sheltered way too much and been overpraised way too much over every single fucking thing.
This is what I've just put in the comments. It's a partisan nature of things these days. You are with me or you are against me. There will be no nuance. There will be no debate. There will be no compromise.
And
a lot of them are from like fucking colleges and universities that are teaching them to have this like victim mindset.
Oh yeah. I mean, colleges and higher education should be teaching people how to debate, how to value other people's opinions.
Taking on board that sort of, not advice, but taking on board that criticism and thinking,
absolutely,
how can we do this better? And we're getting more people in the cinemas, and we're getting more money out of people instead of saying, no, you know what, you're a bigot, or you don't like me because of the color of my skin is why you don't like. It's like, fuck off, man. Are you having a laugh?
And films and cinema and movies and TV programs and books and all that kind of things should encourage people to think. Star Trek always used to do. Star Trek used to make you think. Now, entertainment, movie, blah, 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 tells you what to think. And that's
it's cool. The thing about sort of Star Wars content now, people are praising
exactly that.
Yeah, but it's cool. Well, cool isn't a story.
It's
cool
not.
It's not food for your brain.
But exactly. It's food for the brain. Exactly that. I want something that makes me think.
That nourishes you.
Yep.
I think that's why South Park is still going strong today, because despite all the crude humour, they still do something very thought-provoking and
very clever. I mean, my review of the South Park movie was up because I saw it again recently at the cinema, the 25th anniversary. And even now, that film is very clever in the meta way that it handles what was getting a lot of criticism at that time. And to take the criticism it was receiving for the kind of content it made, and then put that in the movie, make that the subject of the movie, and lambast their detractors at the same time. Very, very clever. Trey and Matt are an institution, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen...
I was
going to say, has anybody seen the Obesity?
Yeah, with Lizzo.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Listen to Lizzo.
Not their best. It was funny. With the Ozempic, yeah.
It was
But
good.
I kind of get a little bit annoyed that these big corporations think that we have to be grateful for the stuff that they're serving us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
we
absolutely.
have to show some form of gratitude. You know,
Yeah, we've
what
spent
you're not
$400
great.
million.
Yeah, yeah. What you're not grateful for what we're showing you, for what we've given you. Look at what we've done for you. This is all for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not for us. It's for them. It's for their overinflated, bloated egos.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's and if they're putting any kind of virtue into it, it's only to pump up their own sense of morale,
Yeah.
Oh
morality.
yeah, it's to please their own fucking narcissism. It's
Look at what the
Look how
girl
great and righteous I am, and I'm just
Mm.
like, well, I'd rather you just did something fucking intelligent, to be
Look at
honest.
what the girl from The Acolyte went and did, because people were saying, "Oh, do you know
Oh
what?"
my word, that was
Oh.
hilarious, wasn't it?
I know, yeah. She's like, she's got a fucking white rich dad. I mean, she's like, I'm not proud. I'm a proud black woman.
Yeah,
dear, oh
she
dear.
just made
Oh,
a video and just slagged everybody off in a video. That's
See, what really bothers me is you can turn around and you can go, look, I don't like Star Trek Discovery because I think it's non-Star Trek, it's unprofessional, it's nihilistic, and it's a bunch of millennials stuck on a spaceship with no kind of chain of command, no professionalism, and no adherence to any of the protocols that Starfleet would instill in people.
lots of
And people
crime.
just turn around and go, you're racist.
Yeah, well, you are.
What did you not hear anything that I just said? And
Yeah.
all the reasons that I said why I don't like this damn thing, none of which mentioned diverse space Jesus Michael Burnham, and they just instantly come back to it. And there were so many Star Trek groups I just go on and I'd be like, look, I'd given an example of an old Star Trek episode. And I'd be like, look, this is something that made you think, was profound, was groundbreaking for its time, all that kind of stuff, and then compare it to something from Star Trek Discovery, which would be dog swill, absolute shit. And they would every single time just come back, oh, you're a bigot, you don't like it because you don't like women, you don't like black people. I'm just like, ugh!
Yeah.
I'm like,
What it is precisely this in a nutshell. It's all they hear you say is, I don't like X, Y, and Z because, and then after the word because, everything that you say becomes white noise to them.
yeah.
They just hear the I don't like X, Y, and Z because.
And therefore,
And they've already got
you are
their,
the enemy.
Yeah.
that's it. They have their default insults,
Yeah. Which is, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I mean, look, put it this way, like you can turn around to me and you can say, look, I enjoy The Acolyte. And I'd be like, well, I think you're a bit mental, but fair enough.
Yeah.
Enjoy The Acolyte, good for you. But at the same time, while I admit that you are allowed to enjoy it and you enjoy it, that's just fine. At the same time, I am now calling into question your abilities for logic, characters, story progression,
Sanity.
quality, sanity, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I will never stop you from enjoying it. I will never stop you from saying you enjoy it. And I will never stop somebody saying they don't enjoy something. My favorite film of all time ever is Strange Days.
Oh, right. Great.
Okay. That is my
I need
favorite
to watch
film
that.
ever made. That's why I put it on the list, Luke. And I fully expect that most people's favorite film is not Strange Days. And there might be some people out there who don't like Strange Days for various reasons. And I would welcome a debate with those people to explain what I love about it and what they don't. And I seem to be in the minority these days.
I'm quite curious about everybody else's favorite film, but I'd really like to know why you consider Strange Days your favorite. Why does it resonate with you so much?
I'm going to sound like a soppy bastard here. I really am. But I love the dynamic of love in that film. I mean, for a start, the film is neo-noir. It is very much neo-noir. It's all set at night. It's a murder mystery with this futuristic technology that allows you to relive memories. And basically, you've got this character played by Ralph Fiennes, Lenny, who's an ex-cop. And he's kind of pining over his ex-girlfriend. And they had this wonderful, wonderful relationship that he's living up in his mind, and he just can't get over her. And what happens is he's reliving memories of their time together through these recorded memories. Yeah. And he's not allowing himself to heal. And it's destroying himself as a person. But more importantly, it's blinding him to a love that's coming from somebody else.
Yeah.
And I love that. That really, really resonates with me. Add all the other really cool stuff to it, like Michael Wincott, who's I think is just a great character actor.
Yeah.
The general plot, the corruption, the murder mystery, the tech, Juliette Lewis's tits. I love it.
Yeah, back when she used to be hot.
It is the central themes of love and unrequited love that really resonate to me for that film. It's directed by Catherine Bigelow. It's written by James Cameron. It's an excellent film.
How long's Catherine
1996,
Bigelow been working? Since like 1940. She's done all sorts.
Yes, because she did. I think the last film I remember doing was The Hurt Locker, but has she done anything since?
No, she's retired. She's 70 now.
Shit. Is she?
Wow.
70.
That explains it. Like,
yeah, she's 70 and she's retired. But yeah, she made my favorite film of all time. You know,
Oh,
so when everybody comes up and goes, "Oh, you're sexist, you're a bigot," I'm like, my favorite film of all time was directed by a woman, and has Angela Bassett in it in a major role.
She's in fucking loads. She did what Point Break as well, which is
Point Break.
Awesome. Yeah, she's got one hell of a career.
Absolute
that's so fucking underrated. So underrated.
That's an absolute arse kicker of a movie. Point Break. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a terrific film.
She did Near Dark as well with Bill. It was Bill Paxton.
Yeah,
Bill Paxton and
yeah, man, that is it is.
The other guy. In that one.
She's looking pretty good as well for a woman in her 70s. Fucking hell, that is a recent picture of her. She's fuck man.
Yeah, it's just something. I can't say it's the best film ever made. I can't say Strange Days is not even if it's my favorite film. It means something to me, and that's why it's my favorite film. And that's why we'll be doing a video on it soon.
That's as good an explanation as anyone could give. That's that's superb. I mean, yeah, and because it has that emotional connection with you. Brilliant. No, I'd agree. It's a terrific film. It is a terrific film. What about you, Fandad? What's yours and why?
I've got a few that I could choose. I think I'm probably going to have to come down on Jaws.
Yeah, that is a good film, and we've got that upcoming as well. And
really?
That's going to be a blast. That
was my god!
Probably the first horror movie I'd ever expect. Well, I would class it as a horror movie for me because I was only 7 years old, and my father took me to see it. Yeah. We didn't have the greatest relationship, to be fair, but one thing I can remember him for was taking me to the cinema, and Jaws was one of them. And I still remember
74?
75.
75, right, okay.
I still remember to this day that there was a kid sat in front of me with his father, and when that head appeared, fucking hell, he was absolutely wailing. I mean, I jumped, but he was screaming the place down. I think I was giggling at myself. But that was such a great experience in the cinema. It was just the camaraderie between the three guys. Obviously, a giant fucking shark chasing them about.
Yeah, Robert Shaw as well. Come on, Robert Shaw. Fuck me, what a legend he is.
Absolute legend. He
drank to singing with bow-legged women.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was drunk when he did that film, but fuck it, I don't care.
Well, they sent like a runner or whatever, one of the production crew to keep an eye on him. Like, don't let him drink too much.
Richard Dreyfuss, the other one?
He got this kid to go drink for him, and the kid had to be carried out of the bar, apparently.
That sounds
while he continued on his mission. But yeah.
One of the weird things about Jaws is I read the book before I saw the film.
Oh, right. Yeah, the book's very different, isn't it?
Very different. Yeah.
Very, especially the ending.
Yes, the ending's completely different.
Especially the end.
Much less Hollywood.
Yeah, and I got to be honest, I think it's one of those where the film did actually improve on the book. I do like the book. I love the book a lot. I don't like the fact that Hooper has an affair with Brody's wife. I don't like that. That kind of, having read that afterwards, I thought, oh no. Yeah, I just didn't like it. But the movie, wow, I mean, what an absolute masterpiece. And boy, did we, see the shape of things to come from Spielberg out of that movie. I mean, I saw that at the cinema, and how I still remember the cinema I went to see it in. It was a cinema called the Oscar. and it was in deep in downtown Pretoria, South Africa, and
Wow.
and my parents were going shopping, and we was with another family of Brits, and me and my sister wanted to see it. You know, we'd seen a couple of adverts, and then this other lad came with us, and it absolutely freaked us out. It was the
Yeah.
most incredible cinematic experience, and one that's lived with me right to this day. And we were going on and on at our parents of how good this movie was. And there was a drive-in theatre not far from us, drive-in movie theatre, and we managed to moan at our parents as many times as we could to take us again to see Jaws at the drive-in movie theatre. And me and my sister were sitting on the back seats, just sort of watching my mum and dad waiting for the head to come out of the bottom of the boat. And boy, did they jump! I mean, everybody just freaked out. You could hear the screams in the driving theatre in everybody's cars.
It's one of the all-time jump scares, isn't it? For
Oh,
sure.
it's just brilliant. It's a masterpiece. It's an absolute
I think
masterpiece.
as well that head in the boat thing is, I think it's kind of like is it called the Mandela effect or whatever? Everyone thinks it's a head, but I think everybody that says that has seen it on TV when we used to have 4x3 screens.
Yeah,
I eventually managed to get like a widescreen version came onto VHS many moons ago. And when I rewatched it, I realized you could actually see the body of the man and his he had like a red checky lumberjack shirt on. It
yeah,
was one of the
yeah,
characters that was on the sort of the jetty or the pier
yeah.
10
That's
minutes
right.
earlier
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
the
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Harry?
Ed?
Wasn't it?
Was,
Was it
yeah,
Harry
Harry?
Ned. That's all right.
his,
Yeah.
his head was still attached actually to his body.
Mm.
Bit of
But yeah,
trivia there for you guys.
yeah.
yeah. So then when you
But
get
and
the
also,
widescreen, you see more of the picture, aren't you? Because they
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
cut out, didn't
See
they, for
the
but
TV?
also that scene was an insert, wasn't it? And that wasn't
all
Richard
right.
Dreyfuss. That was actually filmed in Spielberg's swimming pool. That bit.
Oh right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But what about you, Northern? What would you consider to be your favourite film? What do you sort of
That
go to?
fucking Goodfellas, because it's
Yeah,
just such a fascinating film to watch. You know, about this
it is.
underground criminal activity that was always going, that was really connected and going around, and how this life could be so glamorous but so ugly and so dangerous, and at the same time. And every character is a total scumbag, but the
Mm.
actors play it so well.
Mm.
You end up enjoying being in the company even when they're doing terrible things. It's
It's a
fascinating.
brutal film as well.
It is.
Mm.
It's very brutal, but man, it's fascinating. And the book is great as well. The book is 10 times more ruthless than the movie, because
I can imagine.
it was, yeah. Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
family.
Fucking yeah. As bad as Joe Pesci's character is in Goodfellas, the real guy Tommy D. Simone was 10 times worse. It was
Yeah, you said that. You said like it's nothing compared to the actual person.
Mm.
I was like,
oh
fucking
yeah,
hell,
yeah.
that
Because
she was pretty bad in the film.
Matt Scorsese softened the characters a little bit in Goodfellas, but Hawley, who was like the father figure to Henry Hill, was a downright monster in real life when he wanted to be.
Mm. Yeah, and I'll tell you the scene that I love the most, and this is really, perhaps awful. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows about the wonderful tracking shot and everything, going through the restaurant and everything. But the scene that I love the most is when they kill or when they beat or kick Billy Bats. I
Yeah.
think when it's just the look on De Niro's face, this snarl that he's got on his
Mm.
face is just terrifying. You think, Jesus Christ, this guy really probably has done this sometime or other.
Oh
It's
yeah, yeah,
just
but yeah. Those guys were
absolute,
fucking killers. I mean, they didn't care.
yeah,
They would kill their own fucking friends. Everything. There was no
yeah,
honor amongst thieves like in The Godfather. These guys were. Yeah, they
Vicious.
were brutal.
yeah. And of course, you see it the way when Jimmy, excuse me, when Jimmy turns on Henry. You get that kind of point where obviously when Karen when he says about getting the coat and everything or getting a
Mm.
dress, That's terrifying. That's a
Yeah, no,
terrifying
because
scene.
and you
My
know what?
God.
I think he was going to kill her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah, because he was worried that he was going to get fingered for being part of Henry's fucking drug deal as well by Paulie,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
of course, he was going to try and get her fucking killed or get Henry Hill killed or whatever. It's yeah, they're out to save their own fucking skins. They
yeah,
didn't care.
yeah, yeah.
But
Amazing
once
film.
again, it's very well directed. It's very fascinating. It's very realistic, and it doesn't take no prisoners either, which is why I love it.
Mm, mm. No, I know it's
And
a
you got the
terrific film.
really auto lap as well. You know when he's laughing and Joe Pesci's doing his shit.
Yeah,
It's such a great laugh.
yeah, yeah. No, it's wow. I mean, that's three fantastic choices there, and I wouldn't say no to any of them, or I wouldn't contradict any of you. I mean, they're great choices, really, really great choices.
What would yours be?
Um, it would be Alien. Um,
Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh,
God, that's so
yes,
fucking good.
please.
It really
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I've changed my mind.
I was quite
And it was.
taken aback when Lord Toxic said that he didn't like Alien when he first saw it. I was like, what?
Oh, I can't
You
believe
saw
I
that.
Alien
kind of
first, and then you
understand
saw
it
Alien, and
a bit
he didn't
slower,
rate it.
but yeah,
And
but
then he put
it's
Alien Romulus above it, and I was just like, well, I don't agree,
See,
but that's fine. That's fine.
Blimey.
see, my reasons were. I remember there was this advertising campaign when I was at school. After I come back from living abroad, when I was at school back in the UK, there was an advertising campaign, and there's this weird sort of full page advert for this book, and it was a guy. If you imagine a full page ad of this guy, and he's got an Alan Dean Foster's adaptation open, and he's reading it. His
Mm.
mouth's wide open, and he's having his breakfast, and he's got his spoon just about to sort of tap on the top of his boiled egg, and of course his boiled egg is an alien egg, and it's got the little kind of split in it with the light coming out of it. So
Nice.
the same kind of alien egg that's on the that was on the poster. And I thought, what's this? And it said, Alien um, adaptation by Alan Dean Foster based on a movie coming to theaters near you. And I thought, hello. Um, and I went into my local newsagent one day, and there was this book, and it was a photo book. It was like this kind of sort of shot by shot photo book of Alien, and I was going through it. I thought, oh my god, this is this is the movie, and I saw these amazing designs and sequences and everything. And it's a really, really thick book, and I've still got it to this day. So I bought it, and I just sort of thumbed through it, and I thought, I've got to see this movie. And I made my parents go to see it at the cinema, so they could come back and tell me all about it. And on the day that the day after they went, excuse me, my cousin had a pirate copy of it on VHS. And I went round to my cousin's, and I sat there with my cousin in the dark watching Alien, and it just absolutely blew me away.
Mm.
Um, and I was so enthralled by this book and this movie. And I read in Starburst about this guy called H.R. Giger, Swiss artist, Swiss surreal
Realist.
artist,
Yeah.
yeah, that lived in Geneva. And I thought, right, okay. And like a true geek that I was back then, I decided to go to my local phone box around the corner because we didn't have a home phone at that time. So I went to my local phone box around the corner, and I called up International Director Inquiries, and I actually got his phone number, and I phoned him up in Switzerland, right? And I was like, what? I was 12 years old. Um, so I phoned him up, and I started talking to him. Most of what he said I couldn't understand. And then my money ran out. So I had to wait until I got my pocket money, until I could change it all up to 10p's and phone him up again. And I phoned him up again, and he obviously remembered our conversation. So yeah, and I spoke to him, and then obviously some years later, when Prometheus come around, I was lucky enough to meet him, and that was amazing. Just meeting a hero of mine. Somebody that I'd admired for years and years and years. So I've got all of his art books, and
Yeah, I've got loads of his art books and stuff. I'm
yeah,
a massive,
yeah,
massive fan of HR. I
yeah.
really am.
Yeah, just incredible, and he was kind of like the key reason, I suppose, because it was something that I'd never seen before. Although I had seen that kind of movie before, but not in a science fiction context.
It's I think it is the masterpiece of sci-fi horror. I don't
Yeah.
think you
Oh,
can
yeah,
touch it.
yeah. There's nothing that can touch it. I mean, I can see the merits of Aliens. I didn't when I went to see it the first time. First time I saw Aliens, I hated it, and I thought it's weird. I'm thinking, yeah, this. My mates are going, yeah, this is fucking amazing. Yeah, oh wow, what a movie. And I said, I don't know, something not right about it, something missing about it. And of course, as soon as the special edition came out, not the director's cut, but the special edition, as it was known, and I thought, right, okay, now
Yeah.
I actually really like it.
Ties back in the links. Yeah.
Yeah,
The parents and
Talking
stuff.
about the director's cut of Aliens.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
half and half on it because we got that scene with the colonists that I don't think we needed, but at the same time, we do get that scene where we found out she had a daughter that she lost, which makes the scenes with Neil even much more
it does.
emotional.
Yeah, she
So,
becomes
yeah,
a surrogate
yeah,
child.
Yeah,
doesn't
because
she?
Yeah,
Ripley's
yeah.
It
strength
adds
in that
more
film is
context,
very
doesn't
much
it?
a feminine strength, which is what makes
Yeah.
it so great.
Yeah,
You know,
and
she doesn't
I've
become
got
masculine.
some very, very good friends that worked on the movie, on Aliens. In fact, on Alien as well. I've got to know some really decent people that worked on both of those movies. And one of my friends was very, very kind enough to give me some alien eggs of various sizes from one of the sequences.
Shit, keep your
Um,
eye on those, mate.
yeah, so I've got some from
Fiberglass, aren't they?
I think So I've got some 1/6 scale, 1/4 scale from the egg chamber sequence.
Okay, yeah.
You only see the miniature queen for a moment, but it's done in false perspective. So the actual queen puppet was 1/6 scale in the
Yeah.
distance. So you have the 1/6 scale eggs that are closer to her, and then you have the 1/4 scale that are slightly further back, and then you have the full size ones that are closer to the camera. So it
Yeah.
looks a lot bigger than it is, and it's only a very, very brief shot, but I've got some of those, and I've got the entire set of storyboards as well from all of the visual effects. Every
Awesome.
single visual effect shot.
You know what would be
but-
great then, if you wouldn't mind, is my logo for my YouTube channel is obviously made up of different letters of different films, and Aliens is the I.
Yeah.
So when I come around to covering that, if you fancy joining me and give me some behind the scenes information, sort of perspective, that'd be absolutely incredible.
Oh, mate, do you know what I can do?
I'd watch that.
I could scan the storyboards for you.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
And
Absolutely incredible.
and
Yeah.
send them over to you as a PDF or whatever.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh man, I'd love that. That'd be
yeah,
so
and-
good. Because
and
I mean,
they're-
the only information I have is from watching documentaries on the alien
Yeah.
quadrology DVDs and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
that'd be
I mean
brilliant.
they're really good. I mean they are great documentaries. Obviously, I think everyone's really quite pumped for this new Aliens expanded documentary that's coming out, a 4-hour documentary.
Mm.
That's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, I'll
and
let you know. I mean, I've got to plan it quite well,
Yeah.
obviously. But if you'd like to come on, dude, that'd be
I'd love
absolutely
to, mate.
amazing. To do.
I'd love to, and I think I've got about 4 or 5 different drafts of scripts as well that I can get over to you as well.
Oh, magnificent!
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Yeah, please,
Yeah.
that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all.
Yeah, so it looks
Yeah.
like we're coming to the end of the show now, but yeah, I'll keep
What's
an eye
next
out
week?
for that as well. I'll keep an eye out for that, yeah. So yeah, final thoughts on Touch of Evil, Critical.
Yeah, it's a brilliant film. I hadn't. It's one of those films where you watch it and you just understand why it's revered as a classic. You know, there's just so much class to it, and the enduring nature of a classic is something you can watch many years down the line and still appreciate, despite, you know, any elements of datedness or, you know, sort of a crudeness to the material. In this case, it being sort of a lo-fi black and white film noir film. But the things that make it a classic are the things that are enduring, which is well-developed characters, brilliant direction, suspenseful plot. As I say, there's a few little quirky bits in it that don't quite gel, but it is Orson Wells through and through, including a great performance. And I'm really, really glad you picked it and we watched it. I'm really, really glad.
Yeah, once again, I'll thank Ziggs Horseman for suggesting it. Is shame he couldn't make it though, but thanks anyway, man. Thanks anyway for suggesting it, and hopefully we get to do a stream on something else one day. So, Fandad Menace, final thoughts on Touch of Evil?
A great big bag of bollocks.
We need a contrarian. We need a contrarian.
Rubbish.
Times.
A lot of... No, it's got some redeeming qualities that we went through tonight. I still have issues with it, but hey ho, not everyone likes the same thing.
No, totally not, man. Totally not.
But
And that's what's cool, is the fact that we can all like different things and not
having
scream
that
at each other.
discussion is what makes these streams such quality.
Yeah.
It's good to hang out and do the thing that I set out to do about 3.5 years ago when I set my channel up. This was exactly what I wanted to eventually do, was to just talk about movies and not just be like slagging them off and hating them for the sake of hating them, because that's just tiresome.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do videos for rage clicks.
Yeah.
We want to fucking.
Well, that's it. There's so much of that out there at the minute.
Yeah, there's a lot of llama farmers.
A lot of stuff I stopped watching because it's just repetitive, constant. Like, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit. We know it's shit, but like, you know, let's talk about the good stuff as well.
Yeah, we've seen channels that are releasing like 5 videos a day of like saying this guy said something woke, and this film is woke, this TV show. It's like,
I mean, I don't agree with a lot of that sort of shit, because it is shit, but I just cannot be bothered to repeat myself and constantly bang on about how bad things are. I'd rather talk about bad things and why we think they're bad, but also talk about good stuff and why we think it's good, and then have a discussion or a disagreement.
Way too many YouTubers like Stan when he starts seeing everything is shit, you know, like
I'd rather pick apart the writing than just have a go at stuff for being woke. Just generally the two stand hand in hand.
Just explain yourself.
You know, it creates creative sort of bottlenecks that they can't get out of, which ends up with the writing being crap. But I'd rather tackle it from a writing perspective than from any kind of, you know, woke perspective, if I'm being honest.
I mean, fair play to people if they can do that sort of content and
it sells. I mean, you know, outrage sells. It's what tabloids made an entire industry out of, let's be honest.
I'm not one of these people who sort of tries to take, you see people trying to take channels down because they hate, for instance, Disney.
Yeah, I just can't be bothered with it. Like Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus has not got a woke moment in it. It's not got any messaging. There's no girl bosses, nothing like that. It's just shit. You know, so, you know, it's not always a marker of quality.
So, Inside Man, final thoughts on Touch of Evil?
Beautifully crafted film. Just as everybody has said so far, you know, it's got Orson Wells' stamp all over it. One of the last film noir movies, I think well worth a watch. Brilliantly acted, supremely directed. It does have a few little sort of bumps along the way, but I think they can be forgiven. It's anyone who really loves film should really watch this. You know, you have to. There's so many people that say, "I really love film. I really love film." Oh, what's your favorite kind of film then? Oh, yeah, it's. I like Marvel. Not sort of denigrating anybody that watches Marvel, but you know, when you have people that only watch one genre of movie. Oh, I only watch sci-fi. I only watch war movies. I only watch this and I only watch that. older movies, and as I said before, congratulations for having all of these great movies on your streams, Luke. I mean, really fair play to you. And this is just one of the finest. It's just wonderful. It's a wonderful film, and I'd encourage anybody who hasn't seen it to watch it. You will enjoy it.
I fucking agree. Yeah, I mean, because really, it's a very good, dark, moody, very tragic film with with some great actors that know what they're doing, directed by a director that knew he was doing. And it's a shame that the studio sort of fucked it up earlier when it first came out. But thankfully now we've got the masterpiece he always wanted everybody to see, and it's here, and we saw it, and we got to marvel at just how much work and care and passion was put into this. And yeah, it's a classic. It is. There's no other way to call it. It's a fucking bona fide classic.
And don't forget Dennis Weaver's finest hour.
Yeah. I might watch Dawn again though tomorrow.
Fucking
I
maniac.
watched that in a while.
Very, very strange. As you say, that like Inside Man said, those bits might not have been done by Orson Wells, because I get the feeling there was not a strong direction there.
Yeah.
But what's next week?
Next week is Scarface.
There you go. Another
Ooh,
massive
he's on a roll.
film.
He's on a roll.
If I suggested putting Zulu on your list, how would that go down?
Cracking
I
film.
would do Zulu because it's a film I've only watched a couple of times, but it is a fucking great film. Though
First-
Zulu and Zulu Dawn are both very good.
Yeah, this
I'll
was
do
the
the
first
first
film.
Zulu for now, then. I'll do the first one for now, then.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll get that on.
it was the first film
Mike
that my
Caine.
dad ever took me to see at the cinema.
Yeah, I watched Zulu with my dad. I mean, people get upset about
Yeah.
it these days, but it's a very good film.
Yeah.
I know. I mean,
Drift.
but then again, the Zulu Warriors kind of fucking nearly took them all out. I mean, we had
Yeah.
more advanced weaponry. We had like rifles, and they still had spears.
Yeah,
yet
yeah.
They still fucking
There
got
was
the better
like
of
120 odd people at Rock's Drift, and in the movie it portrays like 2,000 to 3,000. But if you read some of the like historical books, it says that there were about 20,000 ready to march to war in and around that area. So they fucking got off lightly, like. But yeah, as a mark of respect, the Zulu tribe said, "Yeah, fair play, lads. We'll go and we'll go back home."
Yeah, we'll come back the next day and butcher you all.
Yeah, fucking hell.
A little bit of trivia about the premiere of Zulu. They
You worked on
hadn't
it,
had.
didn't you?
I'm not that old. but the premiere at the premiere, apparently they hadn't managed to put the soundtrack to the movie. It was kind of being scored sort of in the final sort of moments. They didn't have time to put the soundtrack on. So
Blimey.
when they premiered the movie, they actually had the full orchestra conducted by John Barry
Wow.
in the cinema as the movie was
fucking
playing
hell.
at the premiere.
Now that
What
would
an
have been something.
experience. You can
Wow.
imagine it, can't you?
Mm.
That's quite something.
It's making my hair stand up on me
Yeah,
arms.
absolutely.
yeah.
Because I remember seeing a couple of films. I saw Aliens, oddly enough, with the full orchestra, with
Yeah.
Cameron and Sigourney
Really?
Weaver and everything there. That Will Albert Hall.
Blimey.
That was
Yeah.
something to see.
Yeah. And as I mentioned, Gladiator's coming up again in April. Still plenty of tickets left for Gladiator at the Albert Hall. And that is a good one. I've seen Gladiator at the Albert Hall before.
I'm trying to. I'm definitely thinking about going to see the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy September 28th. I'm going to see if I can get Lance to go along.
Yeah, I mentioned it to him. Funny enough, I did mention it
Yeah.
to him, and he said, "Oh, right." He said, "Yeah, I'll probably be up for that."
Have they still got one of Hitler's testicles on display in the Albert Hall?
Apparently, actually, do you know what? That's actually that song is kind of what's weird about that is, we all know it as Hitler has only got one ball, right?
Mm.
It's actually I think it goes something like Goering has only got one ball. Hitler's, they're very small.
Mm.
What was it? Himmler's are very similar, and Goebbels has no balls at all. That's how it goes.
That's excellent.
So it's actually Goering has only got one ball,
Damn it.
and Hitler's are very small.
Chinese whispers.
Yeah, there you go. Himmler's are very similar, and Goebbels has no balls at all. There you go.
No
just
balls,
just
not
for the
Goebbels.
record. Funny what you pick up.
A wealth of information there from inside man. Back to the
Isn't it?
studio on that bombshell.
On that bombshell.
It's off to the pub.
Yeah.
Have we still got He's gone.
Let's go to the pub.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, I need to wrap up right now. Anyway, I think we've gone on for quite a while. So, yeah, is there anything? So, obviously, we're at the part where you get to promote any upcoming stuff. So, I'll start with Critical. Got anything upcoming at the moment?
Very kind. My Alien Romulus film review will be out tomorrow. I'm still working on some Star Trek stuff. I want to focus on the good stuff, so I'm picking out lots and lots of examples of good stuff. I don't want to just complain about Star Trek these days. I want to remind people of what it used to be. And apparently, I'm back with you, bunch of reprobates, on Friday watching Scarface. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yummy.
Yeah, fun, Dad.
Hello. What can I do for you?
Yes. Have you got any upcoming stuff at the moment?
I've got some stream next week with, I forget who it is, Scar Man or something, with a bunch of.
You won't like it. It's a terrible film.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you. You need to fuck those people off. Oh wait. Shit.
I keep threatening a comeback. I will get around to. I want to be more proactive in the content creation circles. So, watch this space. Who knows?
I will just say you were missed actually the other week. So yeah, we did miss you.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, we miss you terribly. So we're glad that you're back. No, genuinely we did. You know, we kind of yeah.
And plus, I do hope you get some more content up. I know because
I know
it happens, doesn't it? You can't help it.
I know. I just get so busy through the week, and I don't know what happens. I'll get something out there just for the fans and the chat. Hail the chat.
Yeah, I'm hoping I might try and do a video on the Cape Crusader on why that failed, where Batman the Animated Series.
What is that? Somebody explain that. Is that an animated thing?
It's the new Amazon.
Yeah, it's another Batman animated show.
Is that the one with Clarice Cobblepot or whatever?
Yeah, female penguin.
Yeah, it's shit. I need to get some writing done first. I need to finish off the next few episodes, get some writing done, get my thoughts together on it, and hopefully I might get it out next week or maybe the week after. See what happens. But
nice one.
Yeah, and Inside Man, have you got any? Have you managed to get free time to try and see if you could get some content up on your channel? Or
I'm going to try to get some stuff up. I keep, I've got a few bits and pieces written but not recorded. So I need to do those. I've really got to try and find some time for that. But on Sunday, I'm on the Outcast Creative channel, and we're reviewing and covering episodes 7 and 8 of Spartacus: Blood and Sand. Which should be quite interesting. It was, let's just say, it became almost quite spicy last week. There was a moment that became, there was a moment that almost that almost turned the stream into something else. Things nearly descended into something very, very different. Not in the uncouth, in the way of misses. It was not that kind of spicy, in as much as there was very nearly a little bit of conflict. That's
what I meant. I meant.
Oh yeah. There was almost a little bit of fisticuff that went on there. But yeah, looking forward to this Sunday stream, and then of course I'm back with Northern Stupenzo, Blue Collar Loser, and Lance of the Outcast Creatives on the Nielsen ratings on Tuesday.
Excellent. I'm thinking I might have a word with Lance and see if I can jump on that just to
go
about, or Alien Romulus, basically.
I think do that. You spoil sport.
I'll touch base with Lance and see if there's anything else he wants me to check out, because he normally wants to talk about something else as well.
Yeah. I think he is actually going to be covering Alien Romulus. If unless I'm completely wrong about that. I'm sure he mentioned Alien Romulus, but Northern would be able to clarify that. But yeah, and it's been a pleasure joining you all again, as usual. Yeah, real pleasure. I'm so sorry that I had a little bit of a delay on, so
Yeah,
but
so
I'm
you
glad that was,
made it in the end. You made it in
I
the end.
made it in
So,
the end.
yeah. And it's always good to have you lot on, and it's always good to have everyone in the chats as well. I mean, Adam Gray, Fandad Menace, Nix,
That was
especially.
fire today.
Yeah, he's on nearly every one's streams, isn't he? Love Nix.
Oh,
Yeah.
also,
Not be
sorry,
Ryan.
may I just quickly you
Oh, yeah.
mentioned Adam Gray. It looks like I'm going to be doing a stream later on this evening with Atom Gray on Rumble. I'm hoping that that I can get on that. So so yeah, I hope it's not going to be too late for me to get on that. But if I can, I really, I'm going to really try my damnedest to get on there.
Yeah, and I'll check that. I'll try and check that out. I need to get back on Rumble. I've got an account on, but I've not been using it. I really haven't. So it might be a good opportunity. And I'm hoping Rumble actually beats the fuck out of YouTube now, because YouTube is really getting really stingy with copyright shit. Even
Yeah, it's unfair.
Very
unnecessary.
tyrant like, isn't it?
It's unfair. It's really unfair, considering that there are so many people, so many contributors to YouTube, who create amazing content, and they get a copyright flag for something ridiculous on a video that may be, either educating somebody about something, reviewing, maybe promoting something. So I don't see where the problem is. If you're actually promoting something, why on earth should you be getting a copyright flag for that?
Yeah, I mean, I can almost understand if they're doing like a negative scathing, taken apart kind of thing, because you don't want that bad publicity. But at the end of the day, that should not be here or not there. The fact of the matter is that things like trailers and especially old films are public domain now, should be completely exempt from any kind of copyright claim.
Yeah.
But the way that YouTube's set up, it's very much towards the holder and not towards the creator, unfortunately.
Yeah. And B-sides really do specialize in those public domain movies.
Exactly.
Which
I've got
is
one
why
queued up to watch later, and it's a real shame that they're getting hit, because it really hurts a channel. I mean, my channel is nowhere near big enough to even be spotted by copyright, so I'm not worried at the moment. But going forward in the future, yeah, absolutely, it's a very worrying time.
Yeah, it is worrying.
Yeah,
completely unfair.
Yeah, it's fucking shit. But hopefully, they get more success with through Rumble once, because Rumble needs to sort their shit out. But we'll get into that another time, because I've got to wrap up right now. So I've already said Blue Collar, Adam Gray, Smilex, David Wilson, Not Be Ryan. I've already said Nix, and who else did we have on here? I think
Terry.
Yeah, Terry. Yeah, thank you for that, David Wilson. I think I've already said, did I? But
yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to miss anyone out. I don't want to miss anyone out. I feel bad if I did, but no, it looks like I've mentioned everyone now. So yeah, I will try to catch B-rolls on Rumble or YouTube, since they're back on as well, and hopefully they don't get flagged again. So yeah, and once again, thanks for joining us, and please subscribe to my lovely panel. And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for joining us, and please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and ring that bell to keep notified. And right now, that's me done, and I am off to the pub. Good night, and enjoy your weekend, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Ta-ta.